superstars intend to do.
Yo, it's your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, back at you with a new video. Today is Sunday, April 2nd, 2023, with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can. Cash App, $ ORIONNWSF, or the YouTube Super Chat right here. We got WWE WrestleMania 39 live reactions, night 2 with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. We are going to get kicked off for night number 2 in less than 5 minutes. Let's go. And there's been some rumors that we might be starting with this match to get this out of the way, is what Sarah is saying. So we'll see if they stay true to this and get the worst match out of the way. And then we can, kind of go from there. So I assume we'll go here, and then I can't go here if you're going to go here first. So if this is going to be one of the worst matches, and then they want to go into a good match, then we could maybe go here, or possibly maybe here. I don't know where they're going to go. I mean, I would assume they're going to, or maybe this one. Maybe this one would be the second match. So if you're going to go here for the first, and then maybe to try to set a tone, and then get the crowd going, maybe this one. And then, and then you got to cycle through some of these other ones. There's only 6 matches. So we can go through them here. So you got Brock Lesnar and Omos. The main event, you got Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes. A couple nice ones there. Bianca Belair and Asuka, which should be towards the end. Either towards the beginning or towards the end, right? This one is going to pack a punch, and this one could be a sleeper as well. Obviously McIntyre, Gunther, and Sheamus. This one could steal the show. Cage match, Edge, Finn Balor, the Demon. This one will probably be better than expected. And then this is probably the other match that will kind of let us down. There should be some good spots when you have this many participants, ladies, men, or women. But I don't know. We will see. This one and this one seem like they could be like 5s, and I feel that this one will be a 10. This one should be a 10. And I think that a lot of people might think, maybe like an 8. I actually think this one could be a 10 as well. So I think you got a possibility of 3 10s, a solid 8, kind of like with Seth Rollins' match and the Mysterios. I think this will give you a solid 8. And then you're going to have 2 matches that are probably going to be 5s, but hopefully this one is at least a 7. So that way we only have like 1 5 match out of 10, throughout WrestleMania. Night number 2, Lenny D in the building. But I think we agree those are, probably going to, we have to see what Omos does, if he does any moves that we haven't seen before to make the match for us to be invested. We know Brock, what he can do, but this is just like 2 slower guys. You know what I mean? It's just not a good concept, and then the women's fatal 4-way, as we look at this, if this leads off, get this over with. It's like you're cheering for Brock Lesnar like they did for John Cena, but you knew the John Cena theory match was going to be a 5. This will be a 5. Hopefully not worse than a 5. Then you go here, and you got Ronda in it. So anything that Ronda's in, I hate to say it, but she's sloppy. She moves up. She doesn't sell well. She injures people. I mean, there's some people on here that I like. I mean, I like Liv. I like, who else do I kind of like? I like Shotzi. Obviously with no Natty. She's an OG and a vet. So I like, 3 out of the 4 on the left more or so. And then on the right, you got kind of the heels and whatnot. And probably the one on the right that I like the most is Shayna Baszler, because she's kind of got that rough and tough kind of Ripley attitude. But some people that do MMA can kind of cross over, but some can't. And, you're using Ronda for her name, and, and it's not as bad as Nia Jax injuring people and people never wanting to be around her and whatnot, right? Even though they brought her back for a little appearance there. But, I think that a lot of people, if they weren't paying attention, thought that this was maybe going to be like a regular type match. Anytime you throw a cage into a match, that takes the level of the match maybe being an 8 with a chance to be a 9 or a 10. So, we do have a chance to have 4 matches out of 6 be good. And then, and hopefully that's what exactly happens, which I would predict will. But we will be disappointed with this. and we will be disappointed with this, but we already know this is going to be a disappointment. We hope that this gets to a 7, because if this can get to a 7, it'll mirror last night with one last match. Theory and Cena, you're cheering for Cena, you cheer for Brock. No one cares for Omos except for Vince McMahon. Here, cool participants. I mean, some like, some heel. It's just, I don't know. There's going to be probably some cool 4-on-4 moves, 2-on-2, 3-on-3. So just the simple fact you got more participants, and, this one should probably be much better than this, but what if it's not? What if both of them are just like, oh my God, like 5s? Then we got to have a 10, right? 10, right? 10, and then maybe we can hope for a 9, something like that. I don't know. But like I said, I got 4 matches that I'm really looking forward to, 2 that I know that won't be very good. So let's go. Let's go, baby. Odin's son enters the ring as your NWSF Hardcore Champion. That's awesome that you got the belt, bro. I'm super jealous, man. When we meet, I need a picture with that belt. Let's get to 100 in donos. Let's do it. We had a rough one. I started doing NASCAR, and then I had to switch it halfway through the race to the Mariners because we didn't have enough people to really make it worth it. Mariners lost 6-5, and we're here for day 2. So hopefully we can get a good number here to make up for the 4 hours that was spent earlier today. This would be awesome. Gangrel and Christian. We get the Brood back. Love that. Glad that you're here, Lenny D. Odin's son in the building. Absolutely. It's not the same as it was. The difference is between everyone else and the people that are typically in the room, we never gave up. A lot of people gave up on it, but, it's one of those things. If it's in your blood, it's nothing will ever be the same from the 80s and 90s based off legends, based on the guys that were alive and the female and the males, both, just legends. And there's, the type of matches that they had, and also that era where, we weren't so sensitive, and they actually pushed the boundaries tenfold, that they couldn't even get away with 1/10 of what they were doing back then. And obviously Rock and Stone Cold, NWO, DX, I mean, RVD, Sabu, you're not going to replicate that, and it never will happen. So, but what we can try to do is embrace what we have here now, knowing that it's not the same, but at least we have our few favorites that can remind us of some of the legends that we loved back when we were younger. So, yeah, well, get the worst one out of the way. And normally the first match is the second match, but maybe they're doing the thing where they're just going to go for the first match is the worst match, get it out of the way, and then have that consistent buildup, So, I mean, I guess if you really wanted to go that route and you just want to continually build the drama up, then what you would do is, if you're doing that, you start here, then you want to set the tone, then I probably would go this second, because then it'll get the crowd. This deserves to be later in the pay-per-view, but this will get the crowd going, right? Then you can alter off and go here if you need to, right? And then just have a different change of pace, and then you get ready for, the end. And then you go here, right, with the cage match. Here, Bianca Belair and Asuka, and then obviously the one that we're all waiting on, Roman and Cody. That's how I, as a booker, would do it, I feel. Instead of maybe just going crappiest match, second crappiest match, and then going here, 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 and then obviously with Roman and Cody. But you never know. Like I said, it all depends, because most of your stuff you want to be the best towards the middle, towards the end. But again, you have to capture the audience within the first 2 matches. So if you're going to do the first match is the second best match, then the second one will be a letdown. Or if you do it what they did, last night, where they kind of did the curveball, that they did the first match was the worst match. They never do that. I've never seen them. It's always a very good top 2 match at the beginning, and that would set the tone, and if you're looking at tone setting matches that could really set the tone, it's this one, right? These are the tone setting matches. So it just depends which one will be early and which one will be late. Do they both deserve to be late? Yes, they do, especially Cage, right? But if you really want to grab the audience and they're like falling asleep and they're just like, we already know what's going to happen here. I mean, I guess would we be surprised if Omos wins? I guess would we in a dominant fashion? Is that what they're trying to give him that build up? And you beat Brock Lesnar, or are we just going to get a Brock beatdown? But no matter what, terrible. They could have had Brock Lesnar and Bray Wyatt or anybody but this guy. But, I'm not saying that he's terrible, but he's not worth WrestleMania, in my opinion. This is going to be spectacular, but get this. This one shouldn't even be on the card because let's be honest, even if you're a Brock Lesnar freak, like you just are Brock Lesnar, you F5 all your friends, you go to work, you try to F5 the coworkers, even if you're a F5 Brock Lesnar freak, right? You don't give a shit about this match. Let's be honest. This is not a build-up like Brock and Roman, even though we saw that a billion times. So we will see. And I totally agree. Brock will have to. We'll see how that goes. We haven't really been known for Brock to carry wrestlers. So kind of just crazy in his own mind, Sarah's like, I'm the NWSF women's champ. Yeah, one day when I can get rich, yeah, we'll definitely have to get the belts going for sure. Yeah. And, it'd be really cool if Asuka actually, gets the belt. The chances of the women dropping the belts, like all the people dropping the belts at the same time is unlikely. Is Asuka deserving? Hell yeah. But Bianca Belair is the new Charlotte Flair. So, do you really want to make her look weak? And it depends on afterwards, how long would you let Asuka have the belt if you're going to make her, you know what I mean? So it's like when you get the new belt changes, you don't know, is this just a temporary 1 month thing, a Kofi Kingston flash in the pan, or is it going to be a long reign, which Seth, obviously deserves if we get the Cody win, and then maybe we can get Cody Seth or someone of that nature, a Randy Orton type of figure. The rumors, a Braun Breaker, Randy Orton, there could be some crazy stuff. We'll see. Oh, yeah, Brood shows up, dude, but you can't have Christian, right? Unless he got permission. But seeing Gangrel would be fucking dope. I know he does a podcast. Roman, Seth, AJ Styles, Finn Balor. All the belts come in the custom case, and then the cool part about the belt is the back, because a lot of times the back of the belt will have graphics. It's not just straight like a color all the time. Sometimes those belts, not all of them, that'll have the print, like the NWO one. You'll flip it over, and it's got this really cool like NWO print on the back, black and white and Wolfpack. So yeah. But these are your favorites: Roman, Seth, AJ, Finn. Yeah. No one cares about the first match. It's going to be fucking terrible. How are you doing, brother? Oh, absolutely. Exactly, and that's what I'm thinking too. It's all about storyline, and if you have a Charlotte Flair that you're dropping it to Ripley and she was first in the Royal Rumble, she's doing something like different, and you're giving her that moment, right? With the Asuka, that you would have to build it for a couple months, to be that next one. But obviously, Bianca Belair is the new Charlotte Flair. You're not going to have both of them drop. I just don't see it happening. But you never know. Yeah, but the belt looks awesome, bro. Congratulations on that hardcore belt. See, like this is like, Giant Gonzalez or something. Like, it's not Undertaker or someone like Kane. It's like no one cares. No one's invested in, we get it. You're tall, you're big, you're strong, but you're not really that good of a wrestler. And can you talk on the mic? You got to be able to talk on the mic. You got to be able to have, swagger. You got to have your own style. It's one thing to be this big, character and whatnot, but no one can invest in you just based off size. There's a lot of guys that are big. There's a lot of guys that are strong looking, but again, you have to have everything. Can you sell? How good of a wrestler are you? How technical are you? You know what I mean? Are you good on the microphone? Like all of these things, there's a reason why we have favorites and others that we can't wait for them to get off the fucking screen. But I could think of probably 10 other wrestlers that I would have paired up with Brock instead of this. This is a terrible match to have on WrestleMania. Period. I mean, it's like, having these wrestlers like this, if you're going to have Brock and Omos and Seth Rollins and Logan Paul. Put fucking Seth versus Brock Lesnar. And at least that's something that we would want to watch, because you'd be like, okay, Brock is big, but Seth, it's like, I get the storylines that they're doing, and they're trying to do the whole fucking crossover shit with like YouTube and, but it's like quality. And anytime you set yourself up from some OGs that haven't wrestled in a long time, or just, weird matchups where it's like you got one big slow guy against another guy that's taller and slow. It's like the modern day Big Show. No one cares, At least we cared when he was the Giant in WCW, where it was like, okay, I can kind of get invested in him. But then when he went to the whole Big Show persona, it died. It wasn't the same. It's, that's why Undertaker is going to be always undefeated. Like you got and Kevin Nash as well. You know what I'm saying? It's like when you Wolfpack, you already know what it is. Okay. But as far as like the big guys, you have to be more than just tall, strong. Why are we invested in you? Shout out to Kyle Larson with the win. Obviously, they're in Richmond. But they're like, we're going to do the same format as yesterday, the shittiest match to start it off. And then we're going to bank on Brock Lesnar's nostalgia and his feel like John Cena yesterday. No one cares about Austin Theory either. You know what I mean? No one cares. Like, that's Vince's boy. He was going to be the new IC or the new heavyweight champ. We're not invested in you. There is talent there more than Omos, in my opinion, but I don't know if anyone really is invested in when you talk and when you wrestle. And we know there is talent there. It's not like you're a scrub. You actually are really good. You are really talented, but something about the gimmick is just not working, It's like been there, done that, seen that. There's nothing special about you, bro. You're a poor man's Dolph Ziggler. Like, why am I, and if I'm going to be wanting to watch, I'd rather watch a guy that's underappreciated like Dolph Ziggler, than, but everyone has their run. And obviously when you get these guys that are older, they just treat them like shit. They're like, all right, well, I guess you're just going to put over some other new guy, or we're going to put you on SmackDown and lose in 5 minutes, It's sad how they treated Dolph Ziggler's career, because I really think Dolph Ziggler is one of the more well-rounded wrestlers that never got another secondary push after his first title reign. That guy has always been, he's got a look, he's different, good on the mic, good in the ring, very underrated, and I don't really hear anyone talking about him. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm just one of those Dolph Ziggler, fans and stuff. Like, I bought the t-shirt back in the day. I just thought very underrated. And I don't have to be like everyone else and buy shit from everyone that's popular. It's like sometimes the guys that aren't the most popular are the sleepers. But, they've definitely ruined some careers. Another guy's career that they should have done better is Sheamus. They're putting him in matches, but they really haven't given him an opportunity to be like the man again. And I would like to see Sheamus with, it doesn't have to be a long run, but, IC or heavyweight, I wouldn't mind seeing like a guy that has been doing it for a long time. You can always reward a guy for the consistency and the hard work. And that's why I'm looking forward to that match. This one, and then obviously we know not this, but this one, baby. Those are the ones to look forward to. And obviously I can't leave out the cage. We got 4 out of 6, baby. All right, here we go. Brock Lesnar. Omos just picked him up, threw him around. But I totally agree. That would be cool because that's what the fans want. You know what I mean? But you can't bury your biggest, star in the female division that's not named Charlotte Flair. You have to keep building that brand up. You know what I'm saying? Asuka winning would be great for her, but would be terrible for Bianca's brand and what they're trying to build if they're saying that the women's division is the best. I mean, unless you want to give Asuka her due and then she'll drop it next month and then, or, SummerSlam and then, Bianca gets it back. But, we already know how they build wrestlers and, championship runs. Exactly. I would have loved that. Oh, facts. Jameson in the building. What to do? See, I know I'm not the only one. You know what I mean? Like, he doesn't get any TV time, so no one gives a shit. But I know over the years, there was a lot of, like, unused talent where they could have used him more in storylines, factions, and given him, more TV time to show, and they just, They used him early on, gave him a push, and then they just kind of slowly phased him out. And now he's like barely on TV anymore. And imagine if he was in AEW, how they would pop for him. They would be like, wow. I think if Dolph went to AEW, it would be like a rebirth in his career. So, Michaela in the building, what to do? No. And now obviously Cena and Theory look like each other, and that was the whole thing. Vince was trying to, coddle up and kind of form his version of John Cena in 2023. But there's a difference, obviously with like the persona and the aura, and obviously Austin Theory ain't fucking word life. When you started off and you came in with chains and throwbacks, that's not Austin Theory. If Cena came in as regular guy in trunks, people wouldn't have been as invested. So that was really a smart move on going heel and then going face instead of just starting off as a face and no one getting invested. So, see, I'm glad you guys are smart because you're like me. I know you guys aren't fucking stupid. And a lot of these people that watch wrestling or occasionally, they don't read between the lines. They see things in black, they see things in white. What about the gray area? Where you can see this amazing talent that's not getting used. And then I see, like, even Dolph Ziggler and Brock would be more exciting for me because I would be like, holy shit, what kind of DDT, fucking Hurricane Rana, what is Dolph going to do? I know what Brock is going to do, but what can Dolph do to Brock? And Dolph is an amazing seller. If you look at moves, like RVD and, people that get spiked on their head on DDTs and certain moves, Dolph is an amazing seller. Another thing he doesn't get credit for either, but I know you guys in the room, you guys understand because you're like, you know what? That's fucking true. What an underutilized fucking talent. 2. Let's get to 100 in donos. Facts. The most underrated. He is getting older, but the guy could still main event. You could put the IC title on him, and if you just made him on TV, you'd be like, yeah, it's like, it's just amazing that they have like these pieces that are so much better than others that get the shine because they just think Dolph is so fucking old. No one cares anymore. No one cares is because you bury him and he's never fucking on TV. And anytime we see him, he's losing in a 3-minute squash match to some jobber on SmackDown or Raw. Facts. There we go. Appreciate you. $2 and a $3. Appreciate you. $5. Thank you, man. I appreciate you. Is this your first donos to me? I mean, sometimes people change their username, so it ends up being someone that's donated in the past. But if these are the 2 first donos from you, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Bang, 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 boom, 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 stacks on stacks, racks on racks, Cactus Jack. Bang, bang, $3 holla from Iron Eagle. And he says, you know what? Let me do a tour with that, even though that was supposed to be a $5, $2, $3, $5. Thank you. Appreciate you very much. Every dollar counts. And especially if we get it from people that are new or haven't been here in a long time, it means a lot. Thank you, man. Oh, here we go. Omos F5. Boom, F5. Finley in the building. What to do? The camera angle was so bad, and they didn't even care. They didn't even zoom in on the pin. That's how terrible this match was. Brock Lesnar wins. He does the F5. They cue away, and you don't even see the 1, 2, 3. Great job, WWE. Billion dollar company going to be merging with a UFC partner. So it looks like they're selling it. I don't know how that's going to work out for who's running the company. But it sounds like Vince will still be in charge. I don't know. Hopefully it works out for WWE and they don't like push everybody out and whatnot. But $5 holla. Let's get to a hundo. 95 to go. Let's go. Oh, that's awesome. Thank you, man. Yeah, and like I said, I do a little bit of everything. We do NFL, all the teams, fantasy football, college football, live play-by-play and reactions. I do MLB, NASCAR. Well, we'll see. A little NBA, college hoops, UFC. I mean, a little bit of everything. AEW, WWE, NJPW, ROH. A little bit of everything. Yeah, well, the prediction came true, wasn't it? Right? That's a $5. Jameson Mesa with a $5. Thank you, man. Appreciate you. Bang, 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 boom, boom, boom. Bang, boom, bang, bang, boom, bang. Bang, bang. Thank you so much. you guys got some favorite wrestlers that you guys want me to throw up, it could be now, current, or past. Jameson, type it in the chat. Iron Eagle, if you got a wrestler or two, I can find a Fire HD or 4K photo and show a little extra appreciation. So let me know. Right. I mean, if you really wanted to hype the crowd, like if you really, really wanted to hype the crowd, this is the match you would have started with, because it wouldn't get any fucking bigger than that. Fucking cage match. You starting off with these two going crazy. If you really wanted to set the tone, this is the match you start off with. Just me, if I'm Booker, if you're trying to do things differently. All right. But obviously they're like, all right, we'll just hopefully the fans will just be so excited and drunk, that they've been waiting outside for an hour to get in and they're just happy to get it going, But it's like the Brock Lesnar matchup. I mean, we've had Brock in the main event. Now you have Brock Lesnar against Omos. We had Seth Rollins in the main event. Now we have Seth Rollins and Logan Paul. It's like wrestlers are definitely being underutilized. And I get it, storyline, but like a lot of times it's like agenda. Like obviously with the Omos, that seems like very Vince McMahon, like having his fingerprints on that, because I know he likes him. And obviously bringing in Logan Paul, it's a social media presence, just like you've been in Mr. Bunny, Bad Bunny. You're bringing in Pat McAfee. You're trying to grab people. It's all business. It's all money and trying to get the kids to come through. But I don't know. Sometimes you want like better matchups for WrestleMania. If it was any other pay-per-view, no one cares. Oh, the matchup is on SummerSlam or Royal Rumble or Survivor Series, whatever. But when it's WrestleMania, it's like you want to make sure that your best are going against the best and not having one of your best go against a gimmick person. If you want to have a gimmick person with Logan Paul, have him go against The Miz, which they did, or have him go against Dolph Ziggler, like a mid-card guy. Don't use it on one of the top guys, but again, they still ended up doing a good match, and I figured it would be an 8, like the Mysterio match yesterday. So, here we go. So they're starting it off. They're trying to get the 2 worst out of the way. So they're building it up as of worst to best, and I wonder if the wrestlers even realize that. So worst match of the night, second worst match of the night, and then every match from here on out is great. So it just depends on how you want to set the tone after this. Then probably go here next, and then I would go probably here. And then the last 2, if you want to represent the belts, you go here or here. And, and obviously if you don't start with this to be second to last match, then I would go here for second to last. But that would be, but then they would have to get the cage out of the way and everything like that. So I would assume the cage match won't be second to last just because of having to, fix everything and then get ready for the main event, but you never know. So they're doing shittiest matches going to best matches. We've never seen WWE do this before. This is something brand new. They're like banking on everyone just being so into WWE, knowing that they're going to watch. So they're just going to get rid of all the bad ones first and then hit you with 4 of the best in a row where there's no letdown, where you're just like bang, 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 fucking 10, 10, 10, 10. I get it. 2 5s and 4 10s. That's what we're going for. But if we get a 7 with this match, then that's what they're thinking. 5, 7, 10, 10, 10, 10, or 9, 10, 10, 10. So. I know all the drool for the Shotzi. Yeah. Yeah, and that's another guy that's kind of underutilized, but also too the faction, Judgment Day, best faction that's been created in years. Undisputed Era was very cool in AEW. There's only certain ones that really grab you based off theme song or colors or participants. Think about Dom. If he didn't have Judgment Day and he was a face, no one would give a shit. But he went heel. It seems natural. He's channeling his inner Eddie. And you're starting to see it like it's working. And it's, he can be just a natural heel. He's better off that way. So, and obviously with Ripley, good storyline. She's the next big thing, right? Behind Charlotte and Bianca Belair. Good for them doing that. You don't have to look like a model to be a good wrestler. Remember that. And Ripley, obviously holds her own. That's facts. And then, you just have to be able to look at it, wrestler by wrestler, piece by piece. But, and Damian Priest, I like his vibe. As well, because he reminds me of kind of like a Tatanka, kind of like a tribal guy, Indian, kind of like, respectful elder kind of guy like that. He's just different, and there's no one like him. He's got a cool voice. He's good on the mic. Like, it's a perfect grouping of Judgment Day. And if they didn't put that together, and it's good that they got rid of obviously Edge, because it doesn't, he's older, doesn't really fit the mold, but they could still have Edge in there and it still would work. But that one was, very, very good. The only other thing that is as good as that is probably the bloodline, because on how catchy it is, and they are actually blood, like blood brothers. So that whole gimmick was thought out perfectly. All right, here we go. Let's get the second to worst match out of the way. There's going to be some cool spots. There's going to be some sloppy wrestling. And how many people will Ronda hurt? How many moves will she botch? And how many people will she injure? She doesn't have to be on the mic, so we don't have to worry about Ronda fucking up there. So, you think so? I don't mind Shotzi. I like Shotzi a hell of a lot more than fucking Ronda. Nice drop kick by Natty. Natty's an OG too, you know what I mean? She's ripped like a dude. It's just the Canadian prowess with the dungeon, the Hart family. Nice little athleticism that we're seeing. But a very interesting format if you have been a fan of wrestling for 10, 20, 30, 40 years. We don't see this type of format where you do the worst match and then you do the second worst match. And I know there's only 6, but interesting that they went this particular route. I mean, you could have really got the crowd going if you did this one first. But they want to save that. But definitely good to get this one out of the way. But anytime something looks sketchy on the card, you're just looking at it and it looks sketchy, then you already know it's going to be bad. It's going to be probably like, when you look at it, you already know, 8, 9, or 10. And you look at it and you're like, this is terrible. This is going to be a 5. And that's exactly what it was. And like this one has a potential to be only a 5 to a 7 match. There's no way it's going to be higher than a 7, and it could be lower than a 5. You got a lot of participants, so you can do double team, triple team, 4-on-4 moves and whatnot. But, too many people, inexperienced with wrestling with each other as a big group, and Ronda's involved. So sad to say, when Ronda's involved, talking, 0, wrestling skills, 0, selling, 0, botching moves, 10. That's not a good combo. Like, no one in the crowd is paying attention. Everyone's like eating their nachos and drinking beer and sleeping. Yeah, injuries are brutal. But again, when you know someone is good, you should be able to go back and give them that run. Don't wait forever after Dolph had his first run in Sheamus, where it's like the guy's got to wait 10 years, and then by that time it's too late. It's like you can still squeeze guys in, but when they do this Roman for fucking 3 years shit, then that limits, the other people to be able to shine. Yeah, I get, dominant. But after a while, it gets a little stale and old. 1 year, cool. 2 years, way too long. 3 years, we're just waiting for this shit to end, New is better. We get it, Oh, nice move by Shotzi. $5 holla. Predictable WWE women's match. Everyone who finishers and Ronda and Shayna will win, in my opinion. Could happen. Thank you so much, Iron Eagle. Bang, 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 boom, boom, boom. Bang, bang. Thank you so much. $5 holla. We got a new individual. Hopefully that will keep showing up and hanging out with us. Iron Eagle. Thank you, man. Every time you get support from anybody, it really does mean a lot. I've been doing this shit for 11 years, 7 years on YouTube. It took me 10 years to go full time, which was last year. That's a long journey, and we're just on the cusp of 20,000 subs, which we've hit twice. We kind of go up and down, and we're getting closer to that 4 million view mark. And I think I've done like 16 to 1,700 live streams or videos since 2017. So grinding is definitely what we do here. That's facts. Jameson is back. We appreciate the donos. Thank you so much. Yes, all the Wyatt Six fans repping, baby. $15. Let's get to a hundo. Rodriguez has got some power. She's big. She's tall. Strong. Physical. But one thing that will hold her back is microphone skills. You got to be able to have a persona. You know, you have to be able to be great on the microphone. It's one thing to have the look and everything, but why are people invested in you? You know, because obviously you're going to get some fans that are girls and guys that are just going to go for the people that they think are the prettiest. You know, but for a lot of us that have been watching wrestling since the 80s, yeah, we can appreciate the good-looking people that we got in wrestling. But also, it's like we want to be able to see good wrestling. I want to be able to see someone talk shit. We're like on a really high level, you know, like an MJF level, regardless if it's a woman or a man. You know, it's like, give me everything. Give me technical. Give me high-flying. You know, give me a full package wrestler than just someone that's a good-looking person. You know, you got to be able to have, you know, a well-rounded wrestler. But again, you know, we already know sex sells, and obviously they try to get some beautiful people, you know, but just because they're hot doesn't mean they can wrestle. Facts. There's a lot of them that are like that. That's big facts. Yeah, this match is already better than, because more participants. Like, you already know Brock will do his thing. Omos is doing nothing. So at least in this, even if we get a couple fuck-ups by Ronda or whoever, there's so much action going on with 8 people. Automatically, there's going to be at least 1 or 2 cool moves that we're going to remember. What are we going to remember from the Brock match? Nothing, because we wish it didn't even fucking happen to begin with. There's nothing that we remember. The F5, and then the camera panned out, and we didn't even get to see the fucking pin. So, you know, there you go. Here we go. Are we going to do a, oh, I was going to say, you're not going to be able to do a double giant swing. I did see a girl do that in Japan, though. A double giant swing with 2 different girls. I was like, holy shit. Let's go. The double right here. See, right here. This is the spot that's already makes the Brock Lesnar match, you know, like whatever. You know, it's just the one unique thing that you haven't seen before, or you haven't seen it before in a long time, you know? There we go. Sharpshooter, the double sharpshooter. See, that's what it is. It's about creating memories and showing. That's why I like WCW and ECW a lot more than old school WWF, even though I love that still as well. I want to see unique, different, you know, show me something unusual, you know, that I will remember like that, you know, like that might be one thing that we'll remember by the time the pay-per-view is over. Like that's one thing that we'll still remember. So this one looks like it's gearing towards more of a 7. And so that's kind of what I was thinking. A 5, a 7, you know, obviously with Edge and the Demon could be an 8, 9, or 10. And then the other 3 are going to be 10s. Yep, absolutely. Knicks were decent this year. Oh, here's Ronda. You know, the crowd reaction. That's why WWE, they're like, okay, she's going to get cheered or she's going to get booed. All right, so, okay, she can't wrestle. She can't talk. You know, I don't know, but it would be very difficult to be able to smash people's faces in and then to have to, like, not want to smash someone's face in. You know what I mean? See, like, everyone's booing. Everyone's like, it's like you can have the belt on Ronda, you know what I mean? But it's like, you know, wrestling fans aren't stupid. You know, there's a lot of trolls, you know, but it's like for certain sports teams, like, you know, there are some bandwagon and some fake fucking people out there, right? But for a lot of us, you know, we're not dumb. We read between the lines. So just because you're a UFC superstar, but if you're like botching moves and injuring people and you're not good on the mic, just because you were a legend on UFC doesn't mean we're going to be invested in you like we were in UFC and WWE. If anything, it's like it shows you not every person can do it. And the main reason that they keep her on is because of her name and what she accomplished in UFC and just that aura of just being the baddest bitch, you know, obviously when in the planet Earth when she was doing UFC, you know, besides Holly Holm just, kicking her face in, and then it was the beginning of the end, right? But it's like sometimes you want to be able to root for people, but again, it's like if you start as a wrestler and then do MMA, you can do that if you have the proper training. But if you're MMA first and you go to wrestling and you're used to punching like this and then you have to punch like this or slap, I mean, some people can't do it. I mean, you're talking about people that are just like punching each other in the eye socket 10 times straight, trying to like just knock your head off, and then you have to, like slap someone. Like, I don't know. And then it doesn't, and if you kind of watch when it doesn't seem believable. It's like robotic. It's like, like trying too hard, instead of just letting it come naturally. But again, you grew up a fighter and now you have to like scale back from being a 10 energy and you have to go back to like a 3. And I don't know how many people can't do it. And she's definitely not one of them. So yeah, I think about a 6 or a 7 was that. So I think we're right on, a 5. And then you can give that one the double, right, from Natty, like giving me something different. I'll bump it up to a 7. And that's probably what we thought. It's not great, but it was a hell of a lot better and more memorable than the Brock match, right? Terrible opponent. Like you just look at the card and say, why would this be good? What would make this good? And the only thing that would make this good if there was a gimmick to it, like weapons. And fucking Omos has a fucking bat with barbed wire. All right, maybe that'll be maybe a 6 or 7 if I get a couple shots and I see some blood or something. Come on. This was not going to be good at all. And then we got the second best match. No. Second worst match out of the way. That one would definitely be forgettable. But, when you can do finishing moves and you can include 2 people, pretty cool. Natty, you had the move of the night so far. All right, now, how are we going to set the tone? Are we going to set the tone here and get the crowd into it? This one will be a sleeper match, or do we go for the cage and we just really start to, get the roof, just lit up, right? Do we go one of these 2 matches? These are the tone-setting matches that could have started the pay-per-view that will be better than people think. And then, obviously, you have Bianca Belair and Asuka. I highly doubt that Asuka will get the belt and, Bianca will retain, but it will be awesome. And it'll show people that Asuka is maybe the most underrated female in wrestling. She does deserve to get a belt some point, but I don't know if they'll do it after, obviously, with another woman, Charlotte dropping the belt to Rhea Ripley. To have both drop, Bianca's the new ish. She's the new thing. So this isn't going to happen. But Asuka will get the belt, one of them, some point in the next year, it feels like. And then we already know what this is going to be. This will be fucking incredible. Okay. 2 graphics for this one. We already know this one is a 10. This one should be a 9 or 10. This one, I think, as a sleeper, people think will be like maybe a 7 or an 8. I think this one will be closer to a 9 or 10. It's going to be so physical. When's the last time we've seen 3 guys that all can be champions, all that have, been champ? Obviously, we know Gunther, he will be world champ one day. You can tell. IC world champ, he will. He will be world champ. And they're all physical, all have power, speed. They have some pretty good agility. They fucking really go hard, like with the punches and the slaps, especially Sheamus. So I think this one for physicality, this might be the most physical, one-on-one that we're going to be able to see in a triple threat. I mean, I can't think in my mind of 3 more physical guys in a match that I haven't seen. This is going to be good. And this one has a chance to be a 9 or a 10 as well, depending on the spots they do. And if we get the Brood and I get Gangrel, if I can get that, then we're going to, a 5, a 7, and then maybe 4 10s or 2 9s and 2 10s or a 9 and 3 10s. But all I know is it's going to be awesome here on out. Oh, besides this. And I know some people like, Lashley. He's been getting better on the mic. But again, he's like Ahmed Johnson to me. It's just like, I don't remember him in anything. Like, I know you're doing matches, and sometimes the matches are good. But it's like he doesn't have any memorable finishing moves or memorable moments for me to be like, wow. Maybe they need to book him better. They just need to be able to figure out a tag team with him or a faction. They need to figure out something, different, because he's got talent. He's got the wrestling look. You know what I mean? He is a better talker than what he was, but there's just something missing about Bobby Lashley. And whenever he wrestles, no one remembers anything that happened in the match. Ask anybody. Like, oh, remember the last match Bobby Lashley had? And you just draw a blank. You're like, okay, who did he wrestle? Did he do any cool moves? Did he win? Did he lose? And that's booking. It's like you got guys that are talented, but it's just like you're not really sold on storyline or build up or, Mike's skills have gotten better. I will give him that. But still, it's just they're not booking him properly. Exactly. It's better for him to be with AJ, so then you're paying attention to him. If he doesn't move, he cheats for him, helps him out like a manager bodyguard. But without him, it shows you some guys are not, solo guys. Some guys are just like managers or tag team partners. It's just not the same, Exactly. He's not the same. No one cares. No one's bought in. Oh, it's all good, brother. Yes, I agree. Oh, 100% Gunther retains. Again, see, wrestling too. You have to have story. You have to have build up. You have to, have a reason for them to be able to get the belt. How many times have they been on TV where they've been feuding, backstage or, going back and forth on a verbal assault on the microphone back and forth? You have to have build up. So it's like if we end up getting Asuka winning with barely any buildup, it would be kind of shocking. It would be not ordinary for WWE to let Ripley get it and Asuka. It just is not normal. But then I think wrestling fans would like that. It's like, okay, we know Belair is great, but she can get it back in a month. Let Asuka have her moment. And you've already had your moment last year. Can you have a moment? And if you get the belt back, even if it's only for one night, it's like if they want to be petty, they're like, okay, you get WrestleMania, Asuka, but you're dropping it on Raw. But at least she gets to have her moment. Sometimes that's like the lowest time period that you have the belt, unless you win it and then someone like cashes in Money in the Bank and then you lose it. But it's kind of predictable to a certain degree. We would assume Cody is going to win, right? But if Roman retains, then Vince's fingerprints are still right all over this company if he retains. With this one, I would totally agree. Gunther retains. Gunther is the next big thing. You can kind of see how they're building certain people. Ripley and Gunther, you can kind of see the trajectory of those guys are going. Like champion, like you just see it, and then we'll have to see how the crowd reacts and how they put them in the storyline and the booking. But these are people that you could have them at the top for a while if you wanted. You could have it for months. You could have it for a year. It just depends on how you want to build that character up. But I feel with Gunther, I think that for a big man, being kind of foreign, sometimes the big guys don't really work. But like Drew McIntyre, that's another person that's super underrated, was with the company, got fired, came back, was champ, had COVID, come up, and no fans were there. He needs to have a run where he actually gets to be a heel or a face with fans. That was a shitty time for him to be able to finally get recognized, and then there's no one for him to cheer for him. I'm a big Drew McIntyre guy too, because he's got the look. He's got the foreign accent, but he's great on the microphone, and he's really athletic in the ring. You don't see guys that are that tall that are that athletic. He's got a great combination of being awesome on the microphone and also, having that skill set in the ring. He can do a little bit of everything. He's one of the better big men that we've seen in the company in a long time. See, wrestling too. You're not a fucking dummy. You know exactly what I'm thinking. Every once in a while, we'll get surprised. You know what I mean? Or a match looks good on paper, but the ending is fucked up. Vince McMahon, right? This is going to be, kind of good. And then all of a sudden you get some kind of run out or bullshit count or interfere. It's like you just ruined. Yeah. It's like when they did Brock and Roman. You're like, oh, Brock Roman. And then you've seen it like 5 times. And then that it's just, you've seen it before. And some kind of fucked up weird ending, someone retaining or someone cheating. And, sometimes it's good for us to be surprised. I mean, especially if you've been watching for 30, 40 years like me. So, I mean, I've been watching, 35 years? It's a long time. Bray Wyatt, that would be awesome. I just want him to be booked better. You know what I'm saying? But it's like with him, he's not someone that you remember. I want to remember Bobby Lashley. I don't want him to be a forgotten piece like a Ziggler, but you got to be able to have the booking. So, exactly. But the thing is, if you're trying to build the brand that she's the next big thing like Charlotte, she has to keep winning in these big moments. So that way her resume stacks up, with Charlotte at the end, because that's going to be like, who's going to be the greatest female wrestler based off accomplishments. I mean, if you look at everyone in AEW or WWE, right? Charlotte Flair, based off accolades and everything that she does, is at the top. Who's the one that can threaten? It's very clear. It's Bianca Belair. So, I would really love, obviously I'm Japanese. I'd love to see Asuka, be able to get it, even if it was only for a night, just to have her moment. But even if she does win, I don't think the fans, unless you are familiar with Japanese wrestling, a lot of the fans do not appreciate Asuka because, she doesn't look like necessarily like a model. She doesn't have that look, right? But like I said, having someone like her win, and obviously Ripley win, it would be good because then it can show you don't have to look like a model to be able to beat the champion. You don't have nobody has to look like Mandy Rose, and obviously people love Mandy Rose, and she got the look, but I just want to be able to see quality wrestling. So just don't keep putting pretty faces at the top. Let the people that are actually good be able to showcase the skill set, because that's what's going to get you like long-term fans forever. Asuka's super underrated. If you actually look at her moves and her skill set, she might be actually the most technically sound, like, women wrestler in the business. Like, there's nothing that she can't do in the ring. And she does it with that strong style, like with the Shinsuke Nakamura. So you get the kind of the really strong kicks and back elbows and very hard chops. And that's how Japanese wrestling is. And it's exciting. You want to be able to have it be believable. And here's my guy, Drew McIntyre. Just wish that, he gets another run. He deserves another run, You could have him versus Seth. You could have him versus Cody. You could have him versus whoever. But if I'm thinking of people that, Cody, if he gets the belt, who's worthy? Even though Drew had that run. Drew, Seth, Randy Orton, if he comes back, maybe Bray Wyatt, give me opportunities, But I really like Drew because of the fact that when he got fired, he could have just totally gave up on himself and the business. You know what I mean? But he worked really fucking hard. Mental health is tough, and you got your way back and you redefined yourself. Microphone skills went from like a 5 to fucking a 10. Like, there's not many people that think about it. Next time you listen to him cut a promo, with what he does, very, very smooth. And especially if you have like an accent and you're a good talker, right? It has to be believable. Like when you listen to Sheamus or Becky Lynch, sometimes it's such a strong accent based on how they talk, being Irish and whatnot. It's like, sometimes it's like you can take them seriously, and sometimes the tonality, it's like, it's not believable. But with like Drew, there's no denying, what this guy is about. And like I said, I like what he does in the ring, but I think my favorite part about Drew, I'm a microphone guy. I want to see you guys be able to verbally assassinate anyone on the microphone. And Drew is fucking very good, especially for a big guy. Usually the smaller guys are better on the microphone, as we know. This is going to be good. This is going to be good. Set the tone match right here. Very physical. This might be one of the most physical matches that we ever see, ever. Like when this one is all said and done, people are going to be either bleeding or bruised up. This is going to be something we will remember this match when it's done, guaranteed. 100%. I agree. Yeah, you could make him a heel because he looks like a heel, but you can make him a face as well. But you already can tell, it's like this is a guy that could be IC champion or world champion. That's the trajectory for him. Oh, yeah. Fucking Great Muta, dude. Absolutely. Iron Eagle with a 5. He says, like when Vince changes the ending mid-match and obviously throws the wrestlers off their game, match goes from awesome to the what the fuck just happened. Dude, how do you know me so well, bro? You're just coming in here for the very first time and you're reading my mind. Bang, 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 boom, boom, boom. Bang, bang. Thank you so much. $5 holla. That's so true. And the matches have been changing up more and more. And you can always listen to these people like Wrestling Observer, Dave Meltzer, and all these people. A lot of these people, they're doing it for their own agenda. And unless you actually hear it from the wrestler or the company itself, it's all speculation, right? But a lot of times it kind of feels like that Vince's fingerprints were so in tune with the company, he would be talking into Cole and McAfee's ear the whole broadcast. Think about how much control you have if you're like whispering in their ear, telling them what to say at what point, like throughout every show. Talk about micromanager to the fullest, and it just seems like as of late, there's more Vince vibe to me than it was 6 weeks ago. As soon as the sexual shit came out with Vince, right? 6 weeks of bliss WWE was like Triple H and Stephanie and Khan went crazy. And we were like, we are back. AEW fans like myself were like, okay, I'm back now. I'll watch both. But you were shitty for 2 years and you had to prove to me that it was better, and it got better. But now it's starting to feel like, and then the merger now with the, UFC parent company, we might have a WWE selling tomorrow morning. So it sounds like Vince will still be in control now and he's got more money, but I don't know. I don't know what to think, man. Appreciate you, brother. Let me know if you want to see any photos as we're watching this. If not, then we can just watch this together. I can do them at any point. Thank you. We appreciate you tremendously. $22. Let's get to a hundo. Mike is back, my boy. I appreciate you coming back. I missed you. And this guy, I'm trying to think of who he reminds me of as far as like back in the day when you think about 80s wrestling. This is kind of the vibe that he has. Like, okay, who am I thinking? Like the vibe. It's unique. It's different. He's foreign. Like a Nikolai Volkov or just a different type of vibe where you're not like everyone else. You're kind of just like a foreign-born wrestler that just regular tights, nothing flashy about you, but there's just kind of an aura and a swagger about you. And obviously him being in the ring, that's another part of it too. Or it kind of reminds me like with Rocky, like when you're, when you got the battle, with the Ruski, with the Russian, and you just have that vibe and that look. He's got it, man. And he definitely will be world champ. And we haven't had a big guy world champ in a while. I guess you could say Roman is a big guy, but excluding Roman, Drew McIntyre was the latest one, obviously, but it's like they're trying to get the bigger guys there, but also we need to be able to have the Randy Orton moments, the Cody Rhodes moments, the Seth Rollins moments. It doesn't have to be the tallest, biggest guys that have the strap in at the very end. You can mix it up a little bit, and hopefully that happens tonight when Cody actually gets the belt, and then we have all three lose. But I think with him, what makes Gunther work is the faction name. He's got two other guys with him. If he's just by himself, maybe the vibe isn't as strong, but being in a faction, regardless if the other two guys are good or not, they're fucking get cheerleaders, they get beat up, or, if they participate in wrestling or they don't, it just, factions are cool. And it's got a cool name. And he's only going up from here. Like, you can just tell, like, the vibe that you got from Bianca Belair, you knew she was the next big thing. Ripley winning the Royal Rumble at 1, you knew she was the next big thing. And with Gunther being IC here, this is going to be probably one of the most physical matches of all time. We will remember this forever. Gunther retains. But this is going to be one hell of a fucking match. We're going to see one-on-one moves, two-on-one moves. We're going to see the craziest shit, I feel. Like, think about it. When's the last time you've seen a triple threat with more physical guys than these three? Sheamus is the most physical wrestler of all time. The motherfucker says, please slap me. He punches him in the fucking nose. These guys are all physical. Really hard chops, really hard punches. Not like, I'm going to hit you like this. Like, I'm kind of hitting you like this, We have to make it believable. And that's one thing I respect about Sheamus, and I know other wrestlers hate wrestling him, because sometimes when you're like physical, and then you just got kind of like the wind knocked out of you, right? Like, don't hit me as hard. Let me gain my breath, and most guys do. Then here comes Sheamus fucking, 110% like uppercut you, like I know that, he wants to make it as believable as it is. And think about it. Who wrestles more like stiff like that than him? There's nobody. There's never been anybody that's been as crazy as him. He deserves another run at the top. He definitely does. It's been a long time since Sheamus had the belt. But another guy that's underutilized by WWE, where it's like a Dolph Ziggler thing, where you have a guy, you give him a push, he's got talent, and then he just slowly fades away into fucking oblivion. And then if you're blessed enough, 10, 12 years down the road, if you're still wrestling, Sheamus gets one more chance, at the end, which I think he deserves. But I'm excited for the spots in this match. Oh, absolutely. These are definitely going to be 3 Hall of Famers. 100%. Drew needs another run. Sheamus hasn't had a run in a long time. And that's kind of a disrespectful thing that gives his, blood to the company. And Sheamus isn't anyone's, I think, favorite, unless you're probably, from his home area, or, you have a personal connection. You met him, got an autograph or something, but he doesn't really have bad matches. They might not be your favorite, it's your favorite pale superstar. It's Sheamus, it's very underutilized. But I mean, obviously, if I had a choice between like these three guys, if I'm watching one, I'm Drew McIntyre all day, all night. I respect what Gunther does, but oh wow, what a big fucking kick to Sheamus. Sheamus is like, damn, that's how I kick people. It's like everyone's gonna have their favorite, their style. But even Sheamus, with his hair and the way he talks and his gimmick, he is a character. There's no one like Sheamus, and there never ever will be. Oh shit, that was stiff, right in the chops. Damn, that made my fucking jaw hurt. It's like being in a fight back in like 7th grade and having someone try to sucker punch you right in the fucking jaw. Damn. Let's go. Tone setter right here, just like this in the cage match. But we are gonna get the most physical. I mean, I just can't wait to see what they do outside with the steps, the table. If we go out there, I hope it spills out. There we go. Boston crab your ass. What's good, everyone? Spirit Squad, Ziggler. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm just, really particular, but like, it's like if you can only wrestle or only have a look and you're not good on the mic, it's going to be hard for me to like really like you as my top. Full package wrestling is what it's about. Let's go. This reminds me like of fucking like an old school WWF, ECW, WCW, like not even like ECW feel. Woo! 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 Let's go. We need to do a triple chop where we're going to be doing chop, chop, chop. Let's go. A ridiculous amount of chops. This is a memory forever. Chop, chop, chop. Let's go. What if they end up doing like fucking like 100 chops in the match? Like they set the record for most chops in a match. Dude, everyone's chest is like red and bleeding already. I love this. Ooh. You know what I mean? Like Sheamus doesn't know how to sell a move soft. Like he's like always like he's in a bar fight and he's getting jumped by like 3 guys and he's like defending his life. That's how he wrestles. Think about anyone else that you watch in wrestling. If they wrestle like that, they don't. Oh, man. Let's go. Jesus Christ, these chops are awesome. These chops make Ric Flair look like a bitch. These Ric Flair chops. My God. Ooh. And the Gunther vibe works because he's foreign too, You get these guys from like the different countries, the different accents. It's very cool, to be able to see different cultures, in WWE. That's what makes you a character, makes you different than anyone else out there. And there's no one like Gunther in the business right now, really. Oh, shit. And he's going to go super ham here. It's WrestleMania. Come on. Oh, shit. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. See, this uniqueness of doing this kind of spot is something you remember forever. These are the little subtle details, if you're a wrestling fan, that you see. You either see them, you recognize them, or you don't. But that shit doesn't happen. That's why you want to have those things, those memories, like Natty with the double. You want to make sure if you're going to be doing a like a maneuver, a fucking finisher, it's something memorable. They're already making memories already, and I need to see some blood here soon. Let's go. Uh-oh. He's like, to my brother that went to my wedding, I'm going to beat your chest as if I am going to die. 4. He's not even doing it as hard to him. Look, he's like, this is my friend. Look, my friend chops. See, look at him half-assing it for his friend. He's like, Drew is my friend. I don't want to hurt my friend. Look at him. He's half-assing it. Good for him. It's his boy. Now, if that was Gunther, you know it would be more physical. There we go. That one, he gave him one physical one at the end at number 20. See, I knew this one was going to be one of the top. I knew it. I fucking knew it. I thought this was the sleeper match. We already knew Roman Cody would be good. You know, we already knew Asuka and Bianca Belair would be good. Obviously, you know, the Demon, Edge in the cage, you know, gimmick match, good. But physicality. And then if they can be creative and give you things that you've never seen before, you know, each person putting their little spin on their moves and maybe doing like that 2-on-1 set there. Very cool. See, I love shit like that. I love innovation. I mean, that's why I like Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks. I like to be able to see things that I've never seen before, or something that I've seen back like when RVD and Sabu were wrestling, where I'm like, oh my God, you know, I haven't seen a move like that in a while. That's what I want to see. Tell him, Gunther. 28 fucking chops. We need to have a chop meter. I mean, think about how many times people like give a standing O. I mean, you can do this is awesome. You know what I mean? But this is what you pay for if you paid for a ticket for WrestleMania, as matches like this. You know, you don't pay the big money for fucking a match like this. Okay. You don't go there like, oh my God, I paid all the money to go to see. No, you know, you want to be able to set the tone and have a memory forever, right here, baby. Unbelievable. It's like, how come they didn't think of this sooner? Or maybe they did, and that's why they saved it for WrestleMania. But it wouldn't have been the same if it was a one-on-one match either. What's going to make this one special and that you're going to remember, you know, is that all three participants just gave everything they had. And they're all physically even based off size and strength. You know, Sheamus might be maybe like not as tall, but he's going to hit you harder. Let's go, Drew. Yeah. Oh, good drop kick by Gunther. Gunther doesn't look like a guy that can even do a fucking drop kick, but he's more athletic than people think. 2. This is awesome. And like I said, I knew when I told people I thought this would be a 10 match, some people kind of laughed at me. They're like, why would you think that? And they were like thinking like it would be like a 7 or 8. I'm like, look who's fucking wrestling. These guys know it's WrestleMania. They're physical as shit. And it's a simple fact that Sheamus is there and you got 2 other guys that can, you know, slap and punch as hard as him. I don't know if I've ever seen a triple threat with physicality like this. Oh, baby, let's go. Let's go. He's on the second rope. Yee! Let's go. Let's go. Oh, shit. Hit him with the Scott Hall. 1, 2, 2. Sheamus would be the least likely person to win out of the 3 as well. You know, Gunther retaining, number 1. Drew McIntyre winning, 2. But, you know, again, a guy that they never appreciate. The guy that's always, you know, just a guy. Sometimes you got to reward the guy. It's like you take guys for granted. Kevin Owens taken for granted. Sheamus taken for granted. Seth taken for granted in the last 5 years. There should have been more push for those guys. Yeah. Oh, baby. See? You know, you just have to be creative, just, you know, based off the process. Like, look at everyone in the crowd. You know what I mean? Like that feeling where you're just like are on the edge of your seat. You don't know what's going to happen next. You know you're watching something special, something that will be like memorable. You know, it's like you know you're watching greatness as you're watching greatness. You know, it's like when I watched Jordan play when I was a kid. It's like you either watched that or you didn't, and it's like never been replicated since. Besides Kobe, here we go. This one has just as much energy as any match that we saw yesterday. And if the men's match, you know, that was a sleeper 10, this one is going to be one of the top matches that we remember out of this WrestleMania. One of the top three. Top three, top four. Oh! Damn, that was pretty stiff. 1, 2, 2. But it would be so cool if they did the unthinkable and actually surprise everyone and give it to Sheamus. Then as fans, we'd be like, I'm more invested in this company now because I don't know what's going to happen. That's how WCW was with NWO with Eric Bischoff. He was rewriting the scripts, not 6 months in advance like Vince. He was doing it day by day. Like, he didn't even know what was going on. Like, they were just winging shit. And that's why I got so much ratings, because you never knew what was going to happen on the next fucking Nitro or Thunder. Not Thunder. You know what it is. You know what it is. Oh, baby! Nitro and Raw. Thunder, SmackDown. The old school days. Oh, my goodness. Let's go. Oh! Sheamus, is this his moment? Oh, I just love to be surprised. You know what I mean? And sometimes when you are a fan, things are so lined up and predictable that a lot of us that are hardcore all think alike, and we all kind of have an idea of how things are going to go. If you know, storyline, build up, who they're promoting, you just kind of have a feel for it. But every once in a while, you can get surprised in such a awesome way. Like if you had Sheamus win here, that would be unexpected. But that's what grabs fans and that would make people want to, like, I'm definitely coming back. There's going to be people that are going to be here regardless if the wrestling is good or bad. They're just loyal to the soil. They'll never leave. But for us that love good quality wrestling, we can watch AEW or NJPW or ROH or something else. But we deserve this. We deserve matches like this. This should be the standard. Woo! Let's go. 2. I know they don't want to give it to Sheamus. Gunther's retaining. It's Gunther retaining, Sheamus obviously a third, and Drew second. You know what I'm saying? They didn't have any build up to have any of these guys drop it. Gunther is the next big thing. It's like Ripley winning the belt and then losing it like 2 weeks later. It's not going to happen. You can just you're IC. When you get IC, you're going to be heavyweight. But then they have to figure out who's going to be a good opponent for him at that point once he gets that opportunity. Unless they keep him at IC champ for a long time. Yeah, but definitely, I mean, like I said, if you watch wrestling, occasionally, you can't read between the lines. But if you watch it and it's a part of your life and you've seen how things are, you can kind of predict the future sometimes because you've seen it before. You just have to recognize the little subtle details on matches. But I'll tell you what, I do love surprises. And I rarely get surprised in wrestling that often. And it's an awesome feeling when it happens, especially when you think the guy deserves it too. Look at this, man. I knew this was going to be one of the top 3. And then the cage match has a lot to look up to because you're going up against this. Whoa. One of the best matches of WrestleMania 39 right here. I knew this was going to be the sleeper of today, of Sunday. Hands down. Too much physicality from these guys. Awesome choice. 1, 2. Oh! Gunther off the top. Now it's over. Now it's over. Now it's over. Look at, oh! Off the top of his head. Now it's over. Watch. Over. Gunther. O-Dog. And everyone in the room, we already know what's happening. Now it's over. 1, 2. See? Wow. Well, I mean, talk about physicality, build up, each guy going against each other. That's what we call a fantastic 100%. When people stand up and do standing ovation, you know what I mean? This is the next big thing. And when you can have matches like this and you're a part of it, it's not just him. You have to be surrounded around greatness as well. This helps his aura and brand that if you're not sold on Gunther as one of your favorites, as they're building him more and more, it's not a Goldberg vibe. It's much cooler, unique, different. He's got the look. Obviously, mic skills, talking is a thing, but some guys can get away with it, like a Brock Lesnar. Some guys don't have to talk. They can have someone talk for them, or they just don't talk that much, and they have guys that are talkers, his other, homies with them, then they can do the talking for him, What a match. What a match. If I could give that match a fucking 11, I would. I mean, going based off yesterday's matches, now I got to do a quick review so that way we can have like a little flashback of the matches of everything. Okay. All right. So let's go through the matches here again. On Saturday, John Cena, Austin Theory, first match of 5, right? Then we had the second match. Who did we have? Then we had Flair and Ripley winning. Obviously, Usos losing the belts to Zayn and Owens. Becky Lynch, Lita, Trish, and Damage Control was like a meh, Seth and Logan and Ray and Dominic were both solid 8s. And then obviously the Braun Strowman, Ricochet, Street Profits, Alpha Academy, Viking Raiders. That one stole the show just based off moves that Viking Raiders did that we didn't think. So you really had 5 good matches and then 2 bad ones. Obviously, anytime you have any OGs that are older, yes, I love seeing Lita and Trish, but I already knew that was not going to be that great. And obviously, Cena Theory, no one is invested. It's just like on Sunday, no one is invested in Brock Lesnar and this. Brock Lesnar and this, and that's why they went for obviously the option to get it out of the way. And then they did the second worst one and got that one out of the way. So it's definitely a different type of format. But, again, based off like booking and whatnot, you can go here. That was amazing. And so where do you go from here now? So now at this point, it's going to come down to either here with the cage or we're going to go here, with this particular title. And obviously, as a no-brainer, not anyone is a fucking idiot. This is the main event. So we already know that they went from worst to eventually getting to first, but they have a chance after that fucking banger that was like 11 out of fucking 10, straight 10 out of 10. If this one can match that energy, you can maybe get a 9 or 10 out of this one. And then we assume this will be a 9 or a 10, and we assume this will be a 10. So, you're really, and that's how it typically works. If you have 7 matches, you're going to get 5 that are good. If you have 6, you're going to get 4. There's just going to be, dumb decisions that are made. They're going to be matchups that aren't going to succeed because when you look at it on paper, it looks like shit. And no one in the boardroom said, oh man, this is going to be great. The only way this is great is if it's like weapons or there's like some other stipulation, some extra shit going on in it, cage, weapons, TLC, like something crazy. Otherwise, no one's fucking invested. And even if it was TLC, we're not even that invested as it is. So this one already was disaster. Just like, John Cena, but they're doing it based off one guy's vibe, John Cena's vibe, and the nostalgia of seeing John Cena and hearing the theme music and chanting along, and then seeing Brock for who he is, because it's Brock Lesnar. But then once they get in the ring, then it's garbage, right? And this one was sloppy, and it's not like anything against the female wrestlers. There's some great female wrestlers. Hello, right? But the tier between these two and then this, there's a drop-off. Right? And there's some talented pieces. Natty's an OG. She's a Hall of Famer. Liv has been getting better. Shotzi's been getting better. Ronda's been getting worse. This was a disaster. But, you had potential to make it better because you had 8 people. But you didn't really see enough of those cool spots that you see from the females yesterday. They put on a better show than this one, I feel. Okay? This one could bring the house down, because everyone know, Edge is older. Right? But when you do a gimmick match, maybe Demon, are we going to see purple and black look instead of the red and black look? Do it Judgment Day colors like Dom did. And then if we get the Brood, if they allowed Christian to come back with Gangrel and he comes out to the fucking Brood, that's what takes it from maybe like an 8 or a 9 to like a 10. Those extra subtle details or if they were allowed to be outside the cage, or, they probably won't, because who knows what's going to happen with the cage, but definitely excited for this. Asuka's the most underrated female superstar on planet Earth. Definitely deserves to get the belt at some point, but it will not be tonight. Bianca Belair will retain, and she's the next big thing. She is the next Charlotte Flair. As Charlotte Flair gets older, this is going to be the person they build the company around. And then the main event. We all assume Cody is going to win, but if he doesn't, Vince McMahon's fingerprints are still all over everything. And the only way I can think of is if they had Roman win, then in the next pay-per-view, it'll be like maybe Roman, Cody, and another person, and they do like a triple threat or something. But, at this point, it would feel like it would be the Cody win, right? Legacy, dad, Stardust, Goldust, Dustin Rhodes, Dusty Rhodes, Rhodes family name, having a smaller guy being able to get the championship. It's time, right? Coming out with the multiple Oscars. All the Oscars. How many Oscars? A bunch of them. I love it, man. Like, it's just like you can appreciate American wrestling, lucha libre, like Mexico, like, getting that Mexican style lucha libre wrestling, and then Japanese wrestling. It's all different. Like, if you watch Japanese wrestling for a fucking weekend and then watch lucha libre wrestling and then watch what we see here, like AEW, WWE, you'd be shocked. A lot of us don't watch just one federation. We watch everything, but the style of wrestling is so unique and different for each one. I love this. I mean, this would be awesome if she could win, but I mean, if Belair is the next golden child, the one that has the chance to, be as good as Charlotte Flair at the end with titles, there's no way that Asuka wins. But she will win against someone, and they better give it to her for at least like a month. It better not be like one day and she loses it on Raw. Like, don't disrespect. And I would like to see Shinsuke Nakamura more in like, a role. Another person that they kind of dropped the ball with, where they could have. It's very crazy if you will go back and look at NXT with like Bobby Roode and some of the guys that they were over in NXT when NXT was good with the black and yellow brand, Adam Cole Bay, Undisputed Era, and going back even further back. It's just crazy to see how some guys were so big, right? But then when they went to the roster, they were mid to low card and disappeared. And then they put those guys with tags. And that's what we saw, Bobby Roode to Robert Roode, Ravishing Rick Rude, Bobby Roode, Robert Roode. It's just crazy to see how someone is so over, and if you don't utilize them, things can change really quick. A lot of competition too. I like underdogs as well. And me, obviously, being Japanese, you know what I mean? But it would be cool to be able to have her moment. She's so due for the moment, like she needs to be recognized, and like I said, I think it's cool that WWE is being able to spread out the titles. You don't have to just have a certain look or, be good looking and it's a total package. And I think it was awesome that the Ripley, like you're getting someone that's more like emo goth, which isn't like the norm, but that's what makes it fucking awesome. You don't want to have everyone be the same. I'm not saying everyone has to have a mask or everyone has to have face paint, but it's like, it's cool to be able to have a vibe and a look. And if it's it's cool. You don't have to be Mandy Rose. It's like, and honestly, it's like you can have people that look like Mandy Rose, but if I'm watching a match between Mandy Rose and it's not just like looking at her, like just watching a match, right? Or Ripley, right? It's Ripley by a billion. So it's like, I get it. They want to be able to market themselves, but I want to fucking see some goddamn good wrestling, damn it. Okay? Oh, look at all these girls. These girls are living their best life. That's cool. John Cena, with obviously the kids, from the Make-A-Wish, and anytime you can involve, special needs kids, regular kids, any fucking kind of kid, pretty cool. You know what I mean? Just imagine being lucky enough to be one of those people. Pretty cool. I mean, WrestleMania is a spectacle. Cena's a real one, though. Whether you know, and like I said, a lot of us didn't like him throughout the career. There's a lot of others. I mean, we had Rock or Cena at Rock, you know, but Cena has fans. We know that. But it's like I feel Cena's kind of like Kobe. You know, it's like you could have a lot of people hate you while you're wrestling, but when you're gone or you're limited in wrestling and it's getting towards the end, you can kind of go back and appreciate what he was, where the business was at that time, and what he brought. And there were some pretty epic matches. Rock, Cena. You know, Cena has had some pretty good rivalries over the year, and I think it's that appreciation. You know, sometimes after they're gone, Kobe, R.I.P. You know, or any of these people as they get older, you really do start to appreciate what they brought to the biz. Especially if you start seeing some of the superstar talent kind of decline a little bit, then you're like, oh, what would it be like if we had John Cena in the prime now, where the company is and everything. But he had his run, always is going to be known as one of the GOATs. And speaking of GOATs, you're always going to get one in Bianca Belair and Charlotte that'll be recognized at the end for being like some of the greatest of all time, I would assume, because they're not going to drop the ball with Bianca Belair. But with Asuka, very little recognition, right? Very little recognition besides the diehards that know it, and any little thing that she wins is going to mean like so much, you know what I mean? Like any big accomplishment, because, she already knows it's going to be, it's difficult to be able to gain, recognition towards the top. Because obviously, certain people have to have a certain look, a certain vibe, marketable. But Asuka will have her day, but just not today. But Asuka's going to do the most memorable, probably, moves in the match. That's a big part of it too, right? Let's go. What a great WrestleMania. This has been a better WrestleMania as a group, I feel, in a while. Doesn't it feel like different this year? It feels different to me. $5 holla, Iron Eagle, bang, 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 boom, 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 bang, bang, Cactus Jack, thanks, yeah. Dude, you're hilarious, bro. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. Well, last night they did a different format. Tonight they did the two worst matches in the beginning. And usually what they do is they start off in the past with the best match at the end, but the second best match was the first match. But they did it both nights in a row where they had the worst match as the opening match to get it out of the way and to build up the excitement level instead of like having excitement at the beginning and then having a drop off and having to get the excitement back, So that's a different type of style. And today they did two of the worst in the beginning, and they're doing the last four, and then obviously Cage will be match after this, I would assume. It's been good. Thank you so much, brother. I appreciate you. I mean, like I said, a lot of us, that we feel if we're wrestling experts and, you can read a lot of these rumor people, but it's not as like reliable as guys that are covering NFL, MLB, or NBA. It's like a Schefter thing, even though those guys fuck up sometimes. Like that shit is real. Anything that's from a wrestling person or wrestling group, you can't trust it 100%. Sometimes they'll have their own agenda. And if they hear it from someone there, who are they hearing it from? And how real are they being about it? So, unless it actually comes from the wrestler's mouth or like the company, it's you can't really take everything to heart. But people love wrestling so much, they want to believe it. People want to read shit, because we love it so much, right? Just can't buy into everything. But yeah, not enough build up for Asuka, I don't think. But I mean, if they do the unthinkable and they drop the titles with their supposed two best with Bianca Belair and Charlotte, and they give it to Ripley and Asuka, we are in a new era of WWE, because that would be something that we have not seen before. But if Asuka wins, I don't want it to be like some gimmick shit where it's like she wins for a week and then just like loses it or the next night. Like I would want it rather to be later, and then she can have the belt for at least a couple months, would be nice. I wouldn't mind an Asuka championship for, 3 months, 6 months. It doesn't have to be a year, I don't think, but as long as the matches are good and entertaining, why not? I mean, they have 2 women's belts, so $32. Let's get to a hundo. I don't know. I'm an attention to detail person. Anyone that knows me, if you guys, I got that like Sheldon brain from Big Bang. Like he's smarter than me by a billion, right? But I can remember things from when I was like 3-4 years old, and some of y'all can't even remember what you had for lunch today. So, and I get that way too sometimes. I'm like, where did I put the keys? Like where did I put my wallet? And then you like freak out. Where the fuck did I put my phone? Then you feel like a fucking idiot. Oscar lock. You want to do a bathroom break? Yeah. Well, now it's like you're locked in. There's, unless they have to take time to do a promo for the cage to get the cage set up. Maybe there'll be a slight delay and like a build up, to the match, like a promo video that they just threw on there, and then that gives them time to set everything up. And then, then you can eat and take a break and whatnot. So. Fuck yeah, it is. And I love seeing that. I don't know. I'm a sucker for like the little kids and like the dogs and the cats and the pet stuff. You know what I mean? Like once you have a connection with, obviously children or with animals and stuff, and it just changes you forever. And I just always like rooting for the underdog in life and whatever I'm watching. And, just those people that have the gratitude that are slept on, that everyone knows they're good, but oh shit, big power bomb and great camera shot by that fucking guy right there. Sometimes you got to follow the action down. And when we had the one with Ricochet, then it was pointing up. Like certain little subtle details like that are going to grab more fans. Camera angles fucking matter in wrestling. And that's why they didn't even show the pin for the Brock Lesnar Omos match, because it didn't matter. Good question. I don't know who we would get if we did have one. Braun Breaker versus someone? A Braun Breaker run-in? Roman loses it to Cody, and then Braun Breaker runs in to confront Cody. You never know. That's another guy that there is like on the build-up with the Braun Breaker. Like Braun Breaker could be an IC champ. Braun Breaker could be tag team with someone and be champion. Braun Breaker could probably be heavyweight champ. If they groom him and build him up, it just, you can see it with Gunther, but maybe we get a Gunther Braun Breaker shit down the road. I mean, we'll see. I mean, first you got to get up there, up in the ranks, and then, but just with the, Steiner name, I mean, if you're part of Big Papa Pumper, Rick Steiner, that's a special family. Even though I did hear some kind of fucked up thing about Rick Steiner yesterday, being kind of a hater. Yeah. Well, Bianca's going to be more marketable. You know what I mean? Bianca, can relate. There's going to be a lot of fans in the United States. They're like, oh, this girl looks like me. They can relate. And she's athletic, like Charlotte. You know what I mean? She's got the swagger. She's with Montez Ford. So it's like swagger times a billion. It's like a swaggery, household, like all the swag. You know what I mean? They have a certain style about both of them, But sometimes you got to be able to reward someone that's just a pure wrestler, an Eddie Guerrero, a Chris Benoit. Sometimes you get to reward these guys that they might not be the most popular, but when they were out there, they were special. And I know hopefully that they do Asuka right, and they end up at some point giving her a chance to get some belts under her reign. And it doesn't have to be as many as Charlotte or Bianca Belair if that's the narrative they want to push for those being the best of all time or some of the best of all time. But even 1 or 2 runs before Asuka's done would mean everything to her. And I think to a lot of us fans would love to see the, appreciation. I mean, there's plenty of time in a fucking year, And a lot of these people are going to be wrestling for a long time. So. Asuka with the kicks. Oh, that was a big right hand by Bianca Belair there. Good question. You never know. That's the cool thing about Judgment Day, and they're my favorite. It's just unique. It's different. It's Undertaker colors, Undertaker vibe, but it's not Undertaker. It was done really well, and it's like you always know there's going to be some cheating happening. There's this heels for days. Dom just being a natural heel. And that's a better character for him. Face Dom does not work. A heel Dom works. And then you got Ripley, the most up and coming female, right? Besides Bianca Belair now, right? And then you got Finn, you got Demon. Damian Priest is very unique. I really, really like Damian Priest. Like, as far as his look, the way he talks, the vibe, he's kind of taller. It's a very unique person that should be able to get some opportunities himself too. I feel he's very underrated and he's entertaining. I like that whole group. Oh, look at the strike by Belair. Wow. Iron, See, like I said, some people are wrestling fans. Some are occasional. Some of us are fanatics, right? And exactly. You know what I mean? When you've been watching wrestling, like for me, I've been watching for 35 years and I'm just a insane person. Like before COVID, I never missed an episode of Raw or SmackDown or like Thunder or Nitro, ECW. Like I'm watching, and it got to a point where it was almost unwatchable. Not just no fans, because wrestling needs fans more than anything. Football, baseball, basketball, all these other things can be done. Hockey, but wrestling, it's the energy, like that college football energy that you feel when you actually go to a game and, you feel the energy in the air. It's like that. But you got it, man. You're no fucking dummy. You're smart, man. You know exactly what you're talking about because that's so true. So true. And that's what a lot of times where we got pissed when Vince was running it, because on the card, it looked decent. Like the card, everything's like 8, 9, 10, 8. Not a lot of bullshit, right? But then one of the high-profile matches is like Brock Roman, and then it ends up being some like match that we think is going to be 30 minutes, and it's like 12, and it's like some like short stoppage DQ, and we're like, that's it? Like that was the buildup, like you got it, man. Exactly, man. Those little subtle details. Dude, he's one of my favorites. It's like kind of like a Tatanka vibe, but like he's different. He's not like he's like tribal. It's like just a unique look. Like he's just got a very unique look, personality. Just the overall moves. I just like seeing people that are unique and different. That aren't like anyone else. Like they stand alone and then they are them, and authentic and genuine. And it's just cool, man. And it's been a while that I've really liked a group. Undisputed Era, I thought was fantastically done at the time, and they buried it, and which was stupid. And then some guys are in AEW, and but that was something that should have never ended. Oh, and Judgment Day is just awesome. They could even add members. Woo! Look at the athleticism. That's Charlotte Flair, Bianca Belair, and that's why you have people that are, marketable at the top. It's like you can be pretty, but you got to be able to be technical. You got to be able to talk on the mic. And Bianca Belair has been getting better. Montez Ford's working with her in that, department, and she's working hard to be better on the mic, right? But as far as athleticism, doing moves like that, how many ladies can do that? Barely any. And that's why they're at the top, and if they can do shit off the top rope, no fear, maybe break your fucking neck. Bray may get fucking paralyzed, but you're doing it for the legacy, right? And the no fear attitude, and you're more athletic than the other wrestlers that are out there. That's special. I mean, you get that kind of. I like Io Sky. She does like the top rope stuff. She's never going to be fucking heavyweight champion, but I can appreciate even the littler wrestlers that do it too, or like Lita when she did it. You just don't get to see a lot of these people that do the high risk because a lot of them can't do it or they're scared. Fucking A. I get it. But Belair has a chance to catch Charlotte and go down as the GOAT. Like they will be recognized as mirror images of each other when it's all said and done, I would assume. Unless Bianca Belair has a serious injury or has a change of heart in wrestling. But I highly doubt it because I think she knows it too. Like, she could be like the sister version of Charlotte Flair, like be big time, and she is big time. Very entertaining. Dusty beating Flair. Nice. Yeah, I started watching in 85. So, yeah, I'm 40, even though most people don't think I am. So, I've definitely seen a lot as well. But you go further back than me. That's awesome, man. Anytime I get people that are older, we get people that are over 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 on the channel. I love hearing the stories because obviously, you know, you're going to have people that are older than you, that are smarter than you on whatever it is, you know, at that time period. They're just more experienced because they were there. They experienced it. YouTube clips don't do it. It's like, you know, you get these people, they're like, oh, LeBron is better than Jordan. You know, I saw the highlights on YouTube. Jordan's not that good, you know, and then you're like, if you lived it, you just laugh, you know, you're like, all right. Either you know or you don't. All right, Oscar. 48. Nice. You're not that off from me. Yeah, 8-year difference is fucking nothing. We got people from here that are usually like, typically not like super, super young. You know, every once in a while, they'll be like 12-year-old or like 15, but usually it's like 18 to like 100 or 18 to like 90. That's usually kind of the range. So a wide range, you know, and, you know, a couple people under 18, but 18 to 90 years old, that's a pretty good range. And maybe even some a little younger or older, you know, it's a good quality group. People from all over the globe and all over the states, which is cool too. And a lot of smart people too. Not a lot of a bunch of dumbasses like on other channels. You know, we don't put up with the trolls and the dummies. Oh, Oscar with the great Muda. The mist. Oh. Get her up there. She said, I ate my Wheaties, Montez. Good counter by Oscar. Ooh. Oh, into the. Oh, baby. Oh. If Bianca Belair tapped, that would be the most like craziest, unexpected thing of all time. Because that would not be the way that you would think that she would lose. She said, I'm hulking up. She said, I'm hulking up. I'm hulking. She said, Montez, help me. She's like, I ate my Wheaties. See, who has strength like that? That's why you're the best. And that's why, you know, you're, you know, headlining. WWE is actually really blessed that they have someone that, like, you know, has her look, has her skill set, and obviously, you know, being a sister, opening up a whole nother market for younger females and males and people to watch to see like that skill set representing high level. But it's like you already knew that she was going to be fantastic. I mean, Montez Ford, another guy, super underrated that could be IC champion. They can do a lot with him. His athleticism is through the roof. It's just about if you could utilize people. I don't necessarily would want them to like do like a mixed tag match. I mean, eventually when their careers are older, we'll probably see it. It'll probably come up in some kind of storyline where they do a mixed tag, you know, and they're together still and whatnot. But Montez deserves to have a push, I feel. You know, if you're going to have Omos, like Montez Ford, you know, if you want someone that's going to be exciting and high flying and, you know, can be good on the microphone, it's like recognize the talent you have in your company and give the proper push to the people that are going to get you more money and more merch sales. And people are going to be happier with the product because it's thought out. And you did athletic wrestler with athletic wrestler, not Brock Lesnar versus Omos. Like how much thought went into that, you know? See, sometimes it's, you know, you watch so much wrestling and you root for the underdog. But again, like Iron Eagle said, if the buildup isn't there, they're not going to give it. They want to build it up to give the person the proper respect if they do get the belt. And obviously, Bianca Belair is the golden child. So why would they have her lose? If you're having Roman win, you know, and you're having that dominance, Bianca has to have a long run. You know, Charlotte can have the belt, drop the belt, get the belt. She's like the most decorated. But now she can start putting people over, right? And now we have Ripley. So Ripley's Believe It or Not. But you know what I'm saying? I'm not the only one that recognizes that. Like you know it. You know, Charlotte's older. Someone has to fill the role of being the best. Now they have Ripley and other people that can contend and give you that competition. But even Ripley can't do the moves that Belair does and Charlotte Flair does. So when you can do like everything, you know, be pretty, be on the mic, dominate, you know, inside, outside of the ring, do a little bit of athleticism within the ring, and go to the top rope and do crazy shit. You know, it kind of makes sense to market those people, and those are the ones that are the most. I mean, think about it. When's the last time you've seen Bianca Belair have a bad match? I mean, they can have filler matches against scrubs or whatever, but I'm talking like pay-per-view, you know. But Asuka will have her moment. I don't know what's going to happen. We will see. George Kittle got some bang bang Niner gang. Yep. That's wrestling, though. You know what I mean? So whoever's running it, that's what makes it so important. You know, do you really care about like how certain fans feel, you know, or the kids, or are you just doing it in your own vision? You know, and obviously not everyone's going to be happy, but sometimes things are like laid out so perfectly that all you have to do is execute and just finish it off. And, you know, the storyline is complete. Everyone's happy. And then they just fuck it up, you know, fucked up ending, fucked up run in, fucked up DQ, stupid alternate ending or change of match, you know. And so we're very fickle as fans, you know, wrestling fanatics, but, you know, sometimes things are too easy and they still fuck them up, you know. Flair, Piper, Brutus the Barber Beefcake, Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Oh, Hillbilly. And that was the wrestling is fake guy. Oh, dude, you're too much, man. You're awesome. That's awesome. Yeah. I remember when I was a little kid, I was like, you know, pretended to be the Bushwhackers, you know, and I would like chase my dad around the house and shit. And then I would Macho Man his ass when he was sleeping on the couch. Like he'd be on there. And I was like, probably like, I don't know how tall, 5 foot something. And I'd get up on the edge of the couch. He's dead asleep. And I'd fucking Macho Man elbow drop. Oh man, he would be so pissed. You know, but that's, you know, you had like wrestling buddies, wrestling ring, wrestling figures. You're watching wrestling, you know, shit happens. You know, if I'm watching wrestling and I start chasing you in the house with the bushwhacker type shit, I mean, like things are good. Life is good. That is awesome. That is awesome, man. And I love watching old school highlights of like Beefcake and Hacksaw because you don't see those guys in highlights on Twitter that much. But anytime I have people that I follow or they follow me, they drop that, I always watch it. 3 minutes of watching something from the 80s, 70s, or 90s is like pure bliss. It's awesome. And yeah, I agree, man. I agree, dude. We can't all be happy. You know, sometimes you want them to do like the unexpected, but a lot of times, you know, you can predict it because they see the vision as much as the hardcore fans do. And that's why we're able to predict a lot because it's like, we've seen this before and this is their pattern. And we think that this is probably what they're going to do. Is it the thing that they should do? Probably not, but you know, we're not running the company and they are. So Jake the Snake Roberts. Yeah, but I mean, do you see what I'm saying though? Like, I mean, if they're going to give the belt to Roman for 3 years, I'm not saying Bianca's never dropping the belt, but this is the golden child. So yes, we would love to be able to have Asuka have it for 6 months, for a year, and then it goes back to her at some point, you know, but I mean, we will see on how they do it. But once you have your kind of face or heel, they're trying to maximize that legacy. So do you see anyone on the female side that could be even close to Bianca Belair, not including Charlotte Flair for his like legacy? I mean, I don't really see anyone I see people that are talented that don't get the love and the push like Asuka, who's deserving, but you're not going to be able to see Asuka just go belt and then year and then, you know, drop it and then here, get it for another year, which would be the most incredible shit ever if that were to happen. Like they were like, finally, Asuka has this like crazy run and then goes down as like one of the best Hall of Famers. But again, it's all about who the vision, you know, who is running it. Vince liked Asuka, you know, just like Eagle said. Ravishing Rick Rude, yeah. I even have some old WCW comics from when I was like 5, 6, 7 years old. And on the cover of one of them is Ravishing Rick Rude. It's the artwork in there is cool for the WCW comics because they were like made in the late 80s, early 90s when comics were like, you know, $1, $1.25, $1.50. It was awesome. All the Bushwhackers. Shane McMahon. What do we got? Shane's wrestling? Get the fuck out of here. Shane is wrestling? Shane O'Mac? Damn, we haven't seen Shane in a bit. Well, also, too, I mean, the company, they might be like what? They might be selling tomorrow, so. Shane O'Mac, baby. Money, 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 money. Dude, look at this HD 4K jump off. Look in that photo. Look at the goats in that photo. Is there goats in that photo? Is that the most goated photo ever? Look at the goats in that photo on the left and the right. My goodness. Imagine having that photo and having everyone autograph it. I would like to see more of the guys on the right-hand side spread out a little bit, though, but.
Thank you guys very much for that. You have no idea how warm that reception with that meant to me. Much love back to you. What's up, LA?
Shane O'Mac.
From one OG to another, could you please take care of this, brother? Can we get us a ref in here? It's time to get this thing right. You ain't running from this. Let's go.
Shane and Miz. They're just having Miz get beat up. He said, I'm out here. So a couple surprises. So this is the second surprise. One from yesterday with the Pat McAfee, right? That was unexpected. We didn't see that coming. So this is the second one. So we did get another impromptu match. See, they are mixing it up a little bit, but it's not like mixing it up in the way that we want. It's like we're getting these surprises, but it's like it's cool surprise, but it's not the surprise that we wanted. WWE, I know what you're doing. Oh, yeah, wrestling after cartoons, dude. Dude, all the goats. I was like, oh, shit, look at that photo. Snoop Dogg had no filter right there. They say hit him at like 50%. Snoop Dogg said, fuck that. Back, fucking a tooth fell out. You see that shit? Is that caca? Now he's like bleeding, jaw surgery. He said, I'll show you LBC. I'll show you LBC. He said, Long Beach. Snoop, D-O-double-G. D-O-double-G. Snoop Dogg. What a spectacle, dude. Snoop Dogg at WrestleMania. Snoop Dogg gonna try to do the Rock. Snoop Dogg trying to be like the Rock right here. Snoop Dogg trying to be the Rock. Oh, Snoop shades. Those are on eBay right now. How much? 800. 800. Oh, going to the rope. Snoop's like, I'm old as shit. Oh, I need a blunt, baby. Elbow drop on your ass. 1, 2, 3. Is that what's going on? I don't know. Did Shane get hurt? Yeah. People's elbow. He's like, just hit me. And then Miz is like, dude, you knocked out my tooth. I love it how Snoop bounces off the ropes like he's never felt a rope in his entire life. Like he went against the rope and it was like, didn't know if he needed to run into it or just like stop. And it was like a rubber band. He was like, boing. And then he could continue. You just got to bounce off the rope, Snoop. Just run into it and bounce off. You know, he like stopped and went, sweet belt. Snoop D-O-double-G. Snoop Doggy Dog. The dog elbow. Bow wow. Sometimes it'll come up on my playlist. You know, stuff from the, old school albums. Yeah, look like it. Oh, man, oh, man, oh, man. Shane O'Mac, he's like, I'm old. Dude, everyone is calling me. They said brutal. Did Shane just tear his ACL? I hope he didn't. I don't want to laugh about that, but I hope he, I don't know. That's crazy. Yeah, that better have just been like, let's get him out of there or whatever. But yeah, a bunch of people are like, dude, did he tear his ACL? He's like, I don't think that's how they wanted to plan that match. I don't think so either. Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll find out if we hear anything. Yeah. He said Cole, McAfee, and Snoop. You guys are the best. What a visual. Here we go. We have to set up the match, so we got to get the cage all set up. And I like this. This gives me like a 300 vibe. You guys seen the movie 300? If you haven't seen it, watch it. But you just get kind of like that dark vibe. But if we get the demon, I want to see it in the purple and the black. Okay. And then I want Brood. I want Christian and Gangrel, and I want him dressed up, and I want the full trio. I want the full experience. Are we going to get that? Probably not, especially with Christian being with AEW. But hey, a guy can dream, right? But that little subtle detail of even just having them together, that would take the match up a point just by that happening. It's like everything that's memorable adds up. This will be electric. I'm ready. This is going to be good. Fantastic movie. It's a movie I can watch a bunch. Incredible. And just the visuals. It's just like sometimes you just get in a mood for a certain movie. Like last night was what was on Ace Ventura, When Nature Calls. And then they also had Don't Be Hating. Don't Be Hating. So, you never know what movies will come up that I haven't seen in like a long time. Certain movies aren't on TV often, but yeah. I always try to pop in and see a little bit. $32. Let's get to a hundo. Let's do it. Yeah, everyone beating up on the Miz. He said, time for the originator, the real rock and roller, the founder of the greatest faction of all time, the Bullet Club. Better than better than NWO. Two sweet symbol emoji. Finn Balor. New world order. For life, brother. He said better than NWO. Oh, yeah. Bullet Club is awesome, but NWO is going to always be more iconic, man. Even DX is more iconic than Bullet Club, but I do love that Bullet Club is like old school underground. It's like people that have the appreciation for like Tech 9 You know, it's like maybe not on a big label, not, you know, getting played on radio, you know, not really getting the sales like some of the other people, but still have their own vibe and their own like style. I root for people like that, you know, so I'll listen to someone like that. Like there's always going to be people that are popular, like the Drake stuff, but sometimes you got to go a little bit deeper, and sometimes underground stuff is cool. And Bullet Club was underground. And I actually, you know what the sad thing is? Most people have not watched Bullet Club or very little of, so they don't appreciate it like you do, because you probably watched everything. And the average fan does not even know what Bullet Club is. The hardcore fan knows what it is, but maybe has only watched a little or none. And then you get the people that were in it, you know, but they didn't get as much exposure as like DX or NWO. Trust me, if I could go back and go into the library and watch everything Bullet Club for like a week straight, I would. Because I would love to be able to get like refreshed and see things that I've never seen before, you know. He said Bullet Club forever. Bullet Club. Bullet Club forever. I'm excited to see the intro. That, like I said, with this one, like the introduction to the match should be the best of day 2 or night 2. You have so much opportunity here. It's cage. You know, you can have a cool little intro. Let's see what kind of outfit we got going on. And anything that has a cage will never be bad. Like the very worst, a cage will be like a match that might have been like a 7. There might be some things that you remember, but not a lot. But most cage matches, let's be honest, are like an 8, a 9, or a 10. It really takes a lot to fuck up a cage match, and you got legends obviously in the ring, so it's going to be good. And if we get a little bit of not Finn Balor Demon, right, then you get that extra flair to it, and maybe we get a little Brood action. I want to see some Gangrel. I know I'm not the only one. You know, it's not always about the big time wrestlers. You know, it can be about the Bushwhackers or Tatanka or IRS. You know, Erwin R. Shyster, you know, it can be, you know, the $1 Million Man, you know, Ted DiBiase. It doesn't always have to be the biggest ones. Sometimes those mid-level ones are the ones that we have the most memories with, like the Hacksaw Jim Duggans, the Honky Tonk Mans. Hell yeah, Brood, baby. God, I miss this. I miss the 80s and 90s like so much. Like obviously I'm a nostalgia guy, but nothing like it makes me happier than seeing and going back to having the memories, because it's not just people, oh, you grew up in that time. No, anyone that would have grown up at any point, if you experienced anything from the 80s and 90s, it was some of the most crazy iconic shit that you've ever seen, and it's never going to be replicated. And look at this. A spectacle. What do we got here? And then we're thinking about memories and like stuff that we remember. Look at this. It's WrestleMania. So you always know you're going to get some outrageous over-the-top shit. People coming in a fucking tank. People wearing crazy clothes. Crazy outfit. Give me some fucking Gangrel. He's like, I'm on the podcast. All they had to do was ask me. It's a very unique dress there, that mask with like the holograms and whatnot. And then here we go. And I was going to say, with Edge, you have to come out like this. And there's one thing about Edge that you never, ever, ever can doubt, that passion and that energy will never go away. It's kind of like, you know, Brian Danielson. It's like that inner fire, you know, and he is so grateful. Anyone that's been gone for a while and that gets a chance to come back when they love the business as much as they did and still do, you can just see it, you know. They know they're getting older. You know, they know that time is running out more for Edge than, you know, Brian Danielson until he wants to be dad. But it's cool to be able to see even him older. But this means more to him than anyone on planet Earth. You know, it's like, and it's not like anyone turned their back on him. If you loved Edge and Christian back in the day, the Dudleys or Matt and Jeff Hardy, you still love him. You know, you're still like, he didn't lose fans. You know, if anything, he probably gained fans. Same thing with Daniel Bryan after his injury. Very cool, man. Yeah, it's really hard to fuck up a cage match, and they're hitting it on every level right now. You know, it's like these are the things that we need to talk about. When you're watching it by yourself or with friends, you know, sometimes they don't see the little subtle details, but there's a lot of buildup what makes a quality show. And when you've seen so many shitty shows, you know what things are good. So he said, Orion, agree with me that Bullet Club is better than the NWO. You realize I am wearing NWO right now, Wolfpack, right? I mean, I can go change into the black and white if you want, you know. Oh, fuck yeah, man. Dude, let me see this fucking purple and black vibe. This is going to be like some Stranger Things shit. Let me see this. Dude, me too. And I love it when I get people that are around my age and stuff too, or a little younger, a little older. But, you know, you can always kind of have that connection with certain things like wrestling. He said 10 because of the Slayer. Dude, I don't say no. Yeah, if Finn didn't get hurt, he definitely would have had a nice run. You know, he's got a very iconic song, and obviously having a good theme song and having, you know, that vibe. Not everyone has it, you know. And he's like one of the guys that could actually wear a costume. And we're used to face paint and costumes in the 80s and 90s. They don't do it really anymore, right? But with like him, like, you know, he can pull it off. And obviously when you're a high flyer, you're going to be able to do some pretty amazing things. But his career did lose a little momentum after the injury. But obviously, if you love him through Bullet Club, which is the best, better than NWO and DX, says Lenny D. Wanted me to say that. Yeah, you know. He said, who wants the smoke? I want the smoke. A spectacle. You did. Who's the man? You are the man. And thank you for the shirts. I'll be honest, I haven't wore them because I don't want to ruin them. I normally will just get the shirts and I'll cut the sleeves off immediately, even if it's like a $35 or $40 shirt. Like, I want to be comfortable. I just wear those types of just like cut off shirts. That's what I feel comfortable in, unless I'm wearing something like a hoodie or a jacket or something. But those are still in mint, and I haven't decided if I want to keep it as a memorabilia piece or if I will, cut them or if I will wear them. But it's like almost I don't want to cut them because it was a gift, and anytime I get gifts, or like wrestling figures from Odin's son, I mean, that's awesome. I appreciate you guys. And honestly, if someone who knows me, if I were to get a gift, what would I want as a gift? That would obviously, wrestling stuff is like always awesome for me. I mean, who can say no to fucking awesome like bobbleheads or figures or something cool wrestling related, right? Yeah, I appreciate it. Means a lot. Not a lot of people would do that, I just have that gratitude. It just feels good that, that people would be willing to do that for me, I mean, shit, I don't get to do my pastime anymore, which is go to Toys R Us twice a week. I would make an event of that. I can go in there. I can see when the shit drops. I can go walk through the, 6-7 aisles that I would shop in and look around, wrestling figures and Star Wars and everything and collectible stuff and McFarlane's and he looks good. That's a cool look with the purple and black. Awesome. But yeah, I don't get to do that anymore. It's like, buying something on like Amazon isn't the same. It's like sometimes you got to get the rare stuff from eBay, but Toys R Us shut down. That was terrible. Good camera angles for this match. Make it feel like WCW or ECW. If you notice camera work in ECW, AEW, WWE, all WCW, it's all different. not everyone does the same cinematography. Like, and sometimes you'll see a camera angle and you're like, ooh, that's WCW, you'll get a vibe, oh, that's, ECW, because it just has that look, depending if it's upwards or, and if we're going to get the same commentary, step up the camera work. They spend a lot of money for their camera work, people, and they usually don't fuck up. I mean, I would hope they would get probably paid more, because their job is very important for the brand. Dude, they got so many cameras. It's awesome. There'll be like one shot, you're like behind the person, and then like a half second later, it's like the camera is like in the guy's eyeball. I fucking love it, dude. You got to put in that work. You got to have, like shit. If I'm doing it, I would probably want like what, 10? Maybe more, because you just never know. The ring is so big on, 2 or 3 on each side.
Remember the I Quit match back in Extreme Rules, where Finn Balor and Judgment Day forced Edge to watch his wife Beth Phoenix being taken out before his eyes, forcing him to say I quit. That type of anger just doesn't go away with a few therapy sessions.
I think the cage needs to be like on fire or something. Doesn't that have that vibe? Like, they should have made this match like darker, where it was like in the dark. They should have made it like kind of like a red and like a darker vibe, I think. Give me some like flamage, outside or something, some tables burning or something. Like they could have made this a little bit more of a darker vibe, and the sells and the moves. Just my take on it. This is too bright for a match like this. The guy's wearing the fucking costume. You know what I mean? Like, dim the lights, give it more of a darker vibe, give it more of a Brood vibe, Judgment Day vibe. That's who's wrestling, isn't it? Put me as a fucking booker. Little subtle details. Think about it. If the match was like that, much better. You're into it more. Right now, the crowd's not even into it. Hello, Vince? Oh, yeah. Well, especially with the Drew McIntyre, Sheamus, and Gunther. That shit was awesome. I think they broke the record of chops in a match. Like 74. Something nuts. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Or you can have like, purple cage and red lighting, or something, like just a darker vibe, just to build it up. I don't know. Sometimes people aren't attention to detail. They just think, well, this will just work out, but if you're portraying it a certain way, dark vibe, Brood, dark vibe, Judgment Day, and now you're out there like it's fucking, you're doing the event outside and the roof is open. I don't know. It's just, then there's more pressure on the wrestlers. You know what I mean? Because everything is, more magnified because we can see everything. Get the tables. I know. It's never going to be. But damn it, they should be able to make it happen. Sometimes the match needs to be dark. Okay? That's like Undertaker, in the bright lights all the time in his career. That would just be ridiculous. They go crazy for the tables, yeah. Even if they don't know what's going to go on, they have no idea. They're like, well, someone's going to go through that shit. I think I saw that move in a video game before. Oh, shit. That was some E Honda shit. He's all doing like the palm shit. Yeah. Into the steps. A big chop. But one thing about this match that if you're noticing too, the camera angles are better for a cage match for this that we've seen in a while. So even though I would have preferred it to be a little bit darker and whatnot, but like They got the proper amount of camera people, and I like seeing the different camera angles. It's funny how something so subtle as camera angles can make you feel differently about the match. Like that camera angle right there, right, where you see this look, that kind of reminds me of WCW. It kind of has that WCW. Whoa, look at that one. Yeah, these guys are going all out with the cameras today. Yes, you know what I mean? Like that certain pay-per-view vibe from like the 90s or 2000s when we had to pay like 50, 60 bucks. But, you know, it's just like that. It's the color of the ropes or the way that the ring looks or the camera angle as you look at it, you know, or the way that the ring sounded, you know, like obviously, like I remember like the way that WCW ring sounds is different than WWE. Like, I don't know what it is. Like I notice every little subtle detail like that. And, I don't know. I guess that's just how I am. I'm always just paying attention to every little thing and all the federations, you know? Ooh, damn. That was a kick. See? We should work for, WWE, right? And I imagine a lot of wrestling fans are probably thinking the same thing. You know, it's like we're watching it, but especially if the crowd's not getting into it, you know, like something so subtle as dimming the lights, if you can, a little, would make it a little bit more appropriate for the build-up. It's like, oh, we got the Undertaker versus Mankind in the boiler room, but then they're outside in the lawn. You're like, what? You know, like, does not make sense. Which was actually really cool with the boiler room shit. Mankind, I have a lot of memories as a kid with that. Cactus Jack, dude, love. Oh, for sure. He's got a podcast now. Gangrel. Everyone's got a podcast. Everyone's trying to hustle. I guess it just depends if you have something worth enough for people that are hardcore wrestling fans to listen to you. It's a tough draw if you're an older wrestler, for sure. 2.
We've seen Edge dominate opponents, if not win matches with many of these maneuvers. And the Demon
Prayers up for you, Mike. You're my boy. I want you to feel better. Oh, get the ladder. A TLC. Tables, ladders, chairs. All right, I think my dog is going crazy.
Legend pioneer of the TLC matches, and he's showing you why here in this match. Allen took the brunt of this impact. Oh, in his face. Finn Balor has certainly tapped into something beyond human. But obviously the wounds are still very, very real. Official Sean Bennett just called for the medical personnel to come to Hell in a Cell. And you have to respect Bennett's decision because neither of these two superstars are going to slow down or stop, even if their own parents. And the reason being is the Demon has been busted open because of the ladder and that assault there by Edge. And now medical personnel come into the Hell in a Cell. The door was open. The Demon trying to stay away from our ringside positions here. The Demon doesn't want to be bothered with. The Demon wants to continue to fight, but at the end of the day, these are athletes. To make sure that both are physically up to par to compete. You know, Edge and Finn Balor want to be the ones to destroy one another. They've been savoring this opportunity, looking forward to the chance to destroy one another. And watch this hit. Right off the face of the Demon. Meanwhile, as doctors are working with the Demon, Edge now is Edge is looking for more weapons. Edge is looking for more weapons. What else does he need? He's used tables, chairs, and ladders, and those sticks. Edge hasn't stopped the demon. Edge has barely slowed down the demon. It's come down to the medical staff. Edge wants to be prepared for the inevitable. When the demon somehow finds a way. That'll be up to the discretion of the medical personnel for it. And good. Because again, listen, this is WrestleMania. This is a match, a moment that these superstars live for. They are not going to stop of their own volition. Thank God we've got world-class medical professionals to protect these guys from themselves. Let's be honest. That's what it is, protecting these athletes from themselves. But now the demon is risen. The demon is back to his feet. Edge realizing that now. Edge going right back out.
I'm trying to take care of the dog. Hopefully I didn't miss anything too crazy. All the blood. Yeah, Paisley was getting ornery. I had to try to get her out of the other room. All the blood. Coup de grace missed. Speared himself into the ladder. 2. Yeah, anything with a cell is going to be, awesome. If you like the participants in it, or at least one out of the two, then it, brings it up a notch. But if you like both and it's cage and you know that it's going to be good chemistry and whatnot, and hopefully a couple spots, or there's an athletic person, which they have Finn. So, yeah, it's hard for this match to be terrible. It's going to be pretty good. I mean, at the very least, an 8. I mean, you'd have to really fuck the matchup up, have a bunch of just messy, sloppy spots to make it a 7. But it's very rare that you're going to have a cage. I mean, I think wrestlers know cage match is business, right? You don't want to be known as the wrestlers that can't fucking do the cage match. Oh, coup de grace. 2. First the cereal, then the beer. Shane, medical update, broken kneecap. People are like, ACL? I mean, because it didn't really look like, that was the way that was planned. I don't know if that's true, Eric, but I'll take your word for it. Maybe Eric knows something. I don't know. Something happened to him, though. I mean, sometimes things look like, okay, this is an injury. Sometimes it looks like, okay, this is just like a thing that they plan. And other times things just go haywire and shit gets fucking twisted around and you actually do get injured because you're old and shit. So, oh, look at this spot right here. Oh, that was cool. 2. Even when the Miz wins, he loses. Miz has had a great career for someone that wasn't even supposed to be in wrestling. He's really underappreciated also. I think he would be a guy that could be on the microphone, calling matches, if he wanted to, which he probably won't. But, like Jericho, him, there's a few people that could be very good on the microphone if they wanted to. But I would assume with Miz and his wife and Jericho being Jericho, he's got plenty of other things that he would do rather than be an announcer. He's got Fozzy and all this other cool stuff. Chris Jericho's the man. That guy's living his best life. Judas. If other wrestlers could have a theme song as good as that. And I like Jericho too because he's underrated and he's been in every federation. OG. Yeah, we know he's old now and everything, but there's a vibe. It's like if you Lion Tamer Jericho, so many Jericho, Y2J. I mean, if you unbelievable run in all the promotions, ECW, WCW, WWF, all of them. AEW, WWE, some Japan work. Oh, he said, look at this kendo stick that's made out of 3 little tiny branches. He said, I'm a fucking Mr. Miyagi karate chop your ass. Ba, ba, ba. Yeah, I like Miz a lot. Like I always look for the people that are underappreciated that people don't realize if they like make fun or they don't have like championships anymore or this or that. You gotta be able to look at the overall product and the consistency and where they came from. Not everyone's journey is the same. Oh, through the table. ACL, MCL, PCL, kneecap, patella, Achilles tendon, ripped, torn, broken. Paisley's in here now. Yeah, very cool with the cage to incorporate like the weapons. Like you have to. It's like you can't have a cage match without weapons. It's just unruly. 2. LA Knight. LA Knight is a good talker. You know, it's like that's a guy that they could elevate if they wanted to. It's like it just depends on how they push certain people. You know, he's got a look, but not every person's invested in his like, you know, just career or for him. You know what I mean? But obviously, if you put a belt around him, then people would notice him more. But I guess it just depends on if they like him enough to be the talker and if they feel that he's a good enough draw. You know, we already know how wrestling fans are fickle. We're not going to like just anybody. And you can't have any hell in a cell without the blood. Agreed. He said, I'm about to have some raviolis. Let me smash his head. They even got red chairs. Let me get the blood chair, the brood chair. Get it? Brood chair. Brood chair time. Interesting that they went with the Edge win. I don't know. This one, I think that like they could have made it even elevated higher. Again, darker vibe. You know, incorporating that kind of vibe with the red and the purple would have been cool. You know, but good match. You know, we like I said, he started off with the 2 worst. Right? We already knew this was going to be the best match of the fucking WrestleMania Day 2. This one right here. Yeah, right. And then I already knew this one. Rousey's in it. Uh-oh. Right? But then knew this was going to be just a fucking 10. I just knew that. This one, you know, was good and maybe a little bit higher than most people thought. And then obviously with the Bianca Belair matchup, always going to be good. Asuka, underrated. And then we get to the showcase, the showstopper. Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes. Lose the belt. Let's get a new thing going. Let's go. The demon got the L. I don't know. Like, I think with us here, you know, on the channel, for someone like me that, you know, has that kind of memory and whatnot, like, you know, most people, they watch something, but for me, sometimes I watch things more than once, but I try to notice like all the little subtle details. That's why, you know, when we do things about games or players, I take that extra time to kind of go through like the black and white area, but the gray area, and like just digging a little bit deeper to see really what's going on. And I mean, camera work is big, but I think a lot of people, they don't really notice it. They take it for granted. But if you've been watching for years and years, I mean, a match that has good cinematography and good camera angles, and they know when to zoom in and zoom out and when to flip them, and give you camera angles you haven't seen before, or something different, or maybe something that looks like WCW or ECW from back in the day. That's what draws people in instead of doing the same thing, in the same angles over and over. So you got it, man. And now that's going to be something that you're going to notice, like subtly, you'll be like seeing if it's up to par to like what you just saw. That's how you can determine like good from great, is from the memories that you have from what you saw, and you don't forget those. Huh, Paisley? Paisley's like, yeah, I was being bad. I got kicked out of the room. Now I'm in here with Dad. She's ready to hang out with Dad. She's like, pet me, Dad. Hi.
Melissa Rauch has precision comedic timing.
Just let you know what's underneath all this.
You're the judge. And four-time Emmy winner John Larroquette is a joy to watch.
From a hero. Just a man who constantly does heroic things.
Night Court, new Tuesday on NBC and streaming on Peacock. Wait.
Man, WrestleMania goes Hollywood Night 2 has already delivered so many special moments, including the one we're about to have right now. So without further ado, please welcome your Raw Women's Champion, the EST of WWE, Bianca Belair. Oh, Bianca, congratulations. How did it feel to go out there in front of over 80,000 members of the WWE Universe and successfully defend your Raw Women's title?
It felt amazing. I can't put it into words, but I mean, this means everything. Everything. I mean, defending this title for the past year hasn't been easy, but I've had the opportunity to go against some amazing women, and Asuka, she took me to my limit, and Miss aside, she's an incredible fighter. And in there tonight, it was times that I felt like I couldn't get back up, but I had to remember that this is my dream, and I've done it once, I've done it twice, and tonight I was 3-peat. So, I'm riding for those that have been riding for me, and we're going to keep doing this. I'm the EST WWE, and I am still your Raw Women's Champion.
Well, listen, so many people are clearly riding for you, and including some very special ladies who are joining us right now. Please call them out there and introduce
After WrestleMania goes Hollywood, the backlash begins. With the hottest collab of the year hits, it's gonna feel good to be back. Backlash. Join the Grammy Award-winning megastar, along with WWE's biggest superstars.
Oh, hello. Hello. How are you? That is good. Probably Cody. The energy and whatnot, obviously with the their fireworks are supposedly, they didn't do very much yesterday because the pyro when Cody wins is supposedly going to be like one of the biggest that they've ever done. So if that's the truth, then we're going to get pyro for him in the beginning. But then if he wins, there's going to be like shit loads of pyro where they're going to be just going firework after firework. So it'll be interesting to see, like Goldberg status, but like times a billion supposedly, but we'll see. There she is. Yeah.
To the coolest, classiest, boldly unapologetic gal you'll ever meet.
She is one of a kind, and no one can.
Stacy Keebler. You know what makes Stacy Keebler cool too is Keebler was like in the crowd in like WCW and is just like a fan. And obviously now a mom, you know, so everything has changed. Yeah, but you know, wrestling fans, we are loyal. We don't forget, and especially if you're like in the Attitude Era, you know, or you know, WCW, WWF, ECW in that time. I mean, those people are like eternal. 80s and 90s is just like eternal.
Jerry, thank you so much. He got into wrestling because he was a lifelong fan.
And he saw the beauty in this world, just like all of you love it.
Tim Wild was a great friend of everybody.
Andre.
Timmy's bar. He would go to the writers, you know, hey, look,
Well, so far this you know, pay-per-view is overall been pretty damn good. Again, you know, 5 out of 7, 4 out of 6. They got rid of the 2 worst matches right out of the gates. This one was a 5. This one was probably like a 7, 6 or 7. I think most people would say at the very least, even if you don't like both of these wrestlers, it would be hard to say that this was anything lower than an 8 or I mean, it's like 8 or better. Like if you want to, if you're a hater, I guess you just like don't like these guys, whatever. But that was entertaining. This one brought the physicality. I already knew this was going to be the sleeper of the pay-per-view. Everything happened as we expected, but Asuka will get her chance, and then now they can end it off, you know, with a bang. We'll see if we get any run-ins or surprises, and I want to see some fucking fireworks go off, and this should be good. Prayers up for Shane's body. Injured dog. Goat's dog. Daniel Bryan dog. Dean Ambrose dog. Shane McMahon. Randy Orton. Bray Wyatt. AJ Styles. Shane thought he was this Shane.
I started in this business in Tijuana, Mexico. The capes, the masks made superheroes come to life, and I wanted to be a part of that world. I didn't look like a typical WWE superstar. Thank you, WWE, for letting
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it all depends on how they do the booking and everything. I mean, if like I said, they can do a lot of things. You know, if they wanted to have Bianca Belair and Montez Ford as a team, as a couple, you know, depending on who they went against, they can go that route if the people can actually be athletic, which they won't be able to match that athleticism, right? Or if you had someone like Ripley be like the China, if they wanted to go down that role, and she started wrestling like the men, like for IC championship or something crazy, you know what I mean? Like they can go a many routes, you know, because if you got to think, if there's anyone that's kind of like China vibes, but probably better is Ripley, right? Like Stacy Keebler. She looks happy as a mom. She's like, I'm not doing wrestling no more. She's like, I'm happy to be here. OG legend. Well, they got Andy Kaufman. They'll always have like international. They'll have like, you know, people in like what acting and people in like pop culture. Yes, baby. Japanese legend. It's my cousin. Tim White. Oh. He said, booyaka, booyaka. Booyaka, booyaka. Set fun 9. They needed to do Latino heat, man. Just Eddie's music. He doesn't even need to do his own. You can just do like LWO and just do like fucking Eddie's music, dude. That actually would be super dope. Crazy when you get old and you've seen someone in like their whole career or a good chunk of it, especially if guys go for 20 or 30 years. It's insane. WWE. Oh yeah, absolutely. And it was glorious. Eddie gets such a loud pop. Like for people that have passed away, you know, you got to think like I don't know if there's anyone maybe higher than him. Like for people that have passed away that had a huge impact on people, like even after, like he is like a national global, just like I don't know anyone that doesn't like Eddie. Like he may not be your favorite. He may not be in your top 5 or top 10, but there's a lot of memories from him for a guy that's not your favorite. You know, it seems like there was just a lot of memories made on all the different federations. Miss me some Eddie. He was the man. All right, now we're getting down to the nitty gritty now. Now I got to put up an Eddie now.
It's back 10:30 at night in Philadelphia. They are ready for WrestleMania next year at Lincoln Financial Field, the home of
Yeah.
WrestleMania 40.
Okay.
This is our premium platinum coverage map, and this is consumer cellular's map. See the difference?
No, I don't see the difference. Do you?
Well, that one's purple. Exactly. That's our premium.
What does that mean?
I think it means it costs more.
For the same coverage.
That's what makes it premium. That doesn't make sense.
Oh, yo, boy.
But it is premium.
Yeah, damn. Oh, dog, you good.
Get the exact same coverage as the nation's leading carrier, starting at $20. Consumer cellular.
All right, getting close to main event time.
Yeah, I'll still find you lose. You need to focus on this fight. It's the only thing your mind needs to be on. Doesn't matter if you win or lose. As long as you miss it, put everything out there.
Our truth sign. All the our truth. Let's go.
My whole life was based on a lie.
Get dressed and buckle up, fool. I'm making these moves. House just isn't the same.
Feels not. I'm just thinking something late. Where does money come from? Just a couple strip all day. What it does? Okay, now I'm worried. I did what they did before we were sick. But he's provided back to his old ways. Let's go.
I'm an influencer. I'm trying to get to the next level.
All people see are my mistakes.
When is it my time to feel valued? I wish to create a legacy where we are represented.
I think it's time you take the gloves off, babe.
Carlton!
We can't do this to you. Fight
for your principles.
I have anxiety. I fit into the stellar bubble.
You got any Jeffrey wisdom?
None that you want to hear. Have you seen the latest free-to-play WWE WrestleMania pool on DraftKings? This Roman Reigns Cody Rhodes match is going to be huge. Bring up those pool questions, and I'll show you how it's done. Who will attempt the first pinfall, Cody Rhodes or Roman Reigns? I got Roman Reigns. How many spears will Roman Reigns hit? Over, under 4? Going under. Roman Reigns was hit. I'm in agreement. Which part of the set will break first? I think a lot of things are going to be broken in this match. I always got ring stairs before everything. That's going down. Get in on this DraftKings action and make your picks for WrestleMania for win big. Download the DraftKings app now. Use code WWE and play free for your share of $25,000 in prizes.
We're live at SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles for WrestleMania Sunday, and tonight's main event is brought to you by Intuit TurboTax. Come to TurboTax and don't do your taxes. Let our experts do them for you.
Come to TurboTax and don't do your taxes. Be with one of our experts who will do your taxes for you, so you can do anything else.
Up next, as the disintegration of the bloodline begun, will Cody Rhodes finish the story? Or will Roman Reigns' unstoppable dominance continue? Not if the American Nightmare has anything to say about it.
At 8 years old, I knew not what I wanted to do, what I needed to do. This is your dream. This is what you want. You want to complete the comeback, huh? I have to finish the story. Being in the main event with Roman Reigns, that's your dream. And that's where the story ends.
For some, you have become this impossible mountain to climb. Just not for me.
You ever won that one? Have you ever been in the main event of WrestleMania before? Because I'm pretty sure I done did all of that. That means I'm the most experienced main event of all time.
Let's go. Shit has been electric.
Cheapest on everything that you can do in this business.
You are the best champion in all of sports, but it doesn't change a damn thing. I beat you at WrestleMania.
WrestleMania.
I acknowledge you, damn it. You need to acknowledge me.
You got a chance. I am WrestleMania. Yes, you, loyal friend.
Let's go. They're singing along. This is like one of the probably most like anticipated moments in wrestling history. It just depends if they follow through and we actually get what the fans want and the change, or if we get disappointment again and they have Roman continue to go. If Roman wins, it's got Vince's fingerprints all over it. But at some point, it would make sense to have someone else win on a big stage. How many years do you go? 3? 4? This would be a very fitting way for him to drop the belt. But then how long does Cody have the belt after, he gets it? Are we talking, is it going to be like a month, 6 months, a year? Are we talking about a short-term reign, or is it going to be something long-term? Are they just using this to capitalize off, his popularity in AEW and making a name for himself over there? And then you bring him here. Like, how are you going to use him? Because you're treating him like royalty, like superstar status. So if you're doing that, then it means you can't bury him in the mid card a couple years from now. Because if you do, then it was just for the moment. It wasn't for the career. We'll have to wait and find out which one it is, a few years from now. Whoa! Sing it. Yeah, it was like some like royalty, some kind of English, British, some kind of chess piece, Christmas ornament, something I've seen in a movie from back in the day. The warriors and the knights from the Night Watch. I summon thee. We will protect the night. I want to see him do the the belt away, but obviously I don't know if he's got the belt underneath, but obviously the wrestling belt that he wears that like Hogan used to hit people with, giving that way as a memorabilia piece is probably one of the coolest things that you could get. Some people get a t-shirt, sometimes people get glasses. It's not like we got a Bret Hart giving away the center shades, before the match, but I think the belt is, that's pretty special, man. Weight belt, super dope. And then imagine getting that like autographed, Evil Uno and all of them. That's awesome. He gave it to his son. That's dope. WrestleMania. Brody Lee Jr. It's all about the Brody Lee. Pyro. No pyro all weekend. All the pyro for Cody. And then after, he wins. Like, right? Yeah, last match. What's it going to be? Whoa! That's cool when, because like you can tell when fans are invested because fans cheer for a guy which they never cheer for. That's when things are bought in, the storyline, if they wanted to go this route. But a big part of it is him reinventing himself in AEW and doing crazy fucking matches, like jumping off fucking cages and like reinventing himself and telling people that Stardust shit was fucking stupid. And I can actually be a mid-card or a main eventer, So to be able to capitalize off that, just don't treat him like a bum a couple years from now. I'm very curious to see if they keep this level of, is this just a one-time thing, like a one-trick pony, or are we going to have a successful career here in WWE for many years to go? Or are they just going to eventually bury him out? And this was just to capitalize off ratings. Either way, this is going to be a classic. My cousins. You don't want none of that. Hi, Paisley. I'm almost done. I got to watch WrestleMania. It's the main event. Okay. Right. Roman Reigns, 3 years. Okay. And then Cody Rhodes, time to shine. Okay. As soon as it's over, we'll probably go for a walk and we'll snug. Okay. I'll give you some treats. Okay. Love you. All right. Let's go. She said, Dad, I need a head scratch. I will. All right, here we go. I mean, the build up, the bloodline, the Usos, getting Usi, Sami Zayn, KO, Roman Reigns. We already got one change of the belts. Usos, bye-bye. Sami Zayn, KO, hello. Will we finish the prophecy? Will it happen? If Roman wins, Vince is still in charge and he never left. But if we end up getting what every fan wants, I probably would assume some even Roman fans would be like, all right, maybe it's time, But I guess it just depends on how much you love Roman. If that's like your favorite of all time, then of course you don't want him to drop the belt at any point. But 3 years is a little extreme, okay? After 1 year, we get it. You're electric, okay? Okay, but after a couple years, like after the 2-year mark, it was ridiculous. And then 3 years, like think about how many people you stunted their growth on how big they could be by claiming 2 belts for 3 years. I mean, but obviously they're trying to make him like the modern day Hulk Hogan. So Moxley and Seth are better on the mic. I think everyone knows that. But he has gotten better, Everything was so forced and he was so terrible in the beginning. And, Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins were just so great, and then it was like kind of weird to see the guy's got the look, but the mic skills are important. It's a big part of it. And even if you don't like him, the microphone skills have gotten much more sharpened, and he actually can cut promos now, which it took him like fucking 10 years. And sometimes it takes a while, but you got to be able to find maybe a more of a authentic version of yourself, but then you're just more of an asshole. So it's like you, but you angry, and then just talk like that instead of trying to be someone you're not, And then the swagger comes out and, you have the belt. Fucking A, you have Paul Heyman. I mean, if you can't have swagger and you have Paul Heyman, well, I mean, what does that tell you? Paul Heyman isn't only going to go where the goats are going, right? Brock Lesnar not the same without Paul Heyman, a.k.a. Paul E. Dangerously. I miss that, the ECW days. Yeah, one thing about the Roman thing also, too, is like if whether you like him or hate him, the intro is way too long. Like, I get it, man. You're like fucking royalty, King Tut, like you're fucking, out of this world. You're crazy. You're the best. But no one wants to see any fucking buddy, even if it's their favorite. I don't want to see a fucking 5-minute intro. As much as I love NWO, I don't need Hogan walking for 10 fucking minutes before the match even starts. But that's what, it's all for effect, the long dramatic, entrance. I am the best. I have the belt for 3 years. But the funny thing is, after all the run is all said and done, I don't think it's in the same book as Stone Cold or Rock or, other individuals that we've had. Yes, this is as far as statistically concerned, yeah, the 3-year run, you could be claiming that I'm the best or whatever. But I don't think Roman is ever going to go down to a lot of people's top fives. Because like I said, it's all about, the career. Like this definitely helped his career a lot. But I liked more of the Shield. That was my thing, with factions and everything. That was the first faction that I really liked after NWO. But the development of the bloodline in this is, I mean, obviously they built the storyline up great. And the best part about the whole bloodline in Roman is that we got to see Sami Zayn shine. a mid-card to low-card scrubby guy that they take for granted, even though he's a great wrestler and he's great on the mic. You put him in a weird situation with guys that normally are more serious. He can be fucking goofy as fuck, make them laugh, and also be really witty and smart, and then you have a great storyline like you had. So for me, the whole thing with, them getting the belts and all that, the best part was we actually got to see someone shine that we never would have got to see if they didn't get the opportunity. And see little things like that. That's what's special in wrestling. The subtle details that it's not about Roman. It's Sami Zayn part was pretty cool too. Facts. -1 in the easy. Right. Trying to be like NWO, we run it. Chief with a tenor. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate you. Bang, bang, bang. Boom, boom, boom. Bang, bang. $10 holla. Appreciate you, man. Hope you're doing well. Thank you, brother. Let me know what you want to see. But I mean, obviously right now this is main event. So I could be pulling up photos and if anything that you want for anyone that donates, if you desperately need a photo, but when we're here, I want to kind of soak this in. I mean, pictures are pictures and I'll throw it up for anyone that wants it. But is this the beginning of the end or is this another Vince screw job? Are we getting a Vince screw job? He's like, yeah, I'll have Cody win it, but then it's at some like pay-per-view in Saudi Arabia that no one's even watching. Like, what am I going to get here? $42, 58 to go. Let's get it. Uh-huh. Let's go. Let's go.
Introducing the challenger from Atlanta, Georgia, weighing in at 222 pounds. He is the winner of the 2023 Men's Royal Rumble match. The American Nightmare,
Roots. He says he'll bring that energy. Cody's come a long way with the lisp and everything, to be able to still to cut a promo when you have a little slight lisp, and he brings that heat, that energy. And obviously if you're part of the Rhodes family, I mean, come on, man, that's a big deal. Dusty Rhodes, Goldust, Stardust, and now what you see. Undisputed. Follow him in the background. Look at him shaking his head. Just saying it on. Right. Boo, 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 boo. Is that boo, 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 boo? All the boo birds. Let's go. Roman Reigns. Cody Rhodes. Electric. Let's fucking go. Your boy's good. Let's get it. Let's fucking go, huh? Your boy's always working. Fucking A, dude. Let's go. Think about this anticipation. This kind of has like a Hogan Goldberg feel, kind of a Hogan Rock feel. It feels different, doesn't it? Just because Roman's had that for so long. We know that they don't want him to drop it just to anybody, right? But we're gonna get a little. He's like, I can't speak on the mic. Let me see your microphone skills, brother. And even if he has like all the records, like longest reign, a lot of people are still going to say Hogan, Macho Man, Ric Flair, Rock, Stone Cold, Bret Hart, fucking HBK, Shawn Michaels. Like, it's going to be really hard to convince certain people, Stone Cold, Steve Austin. Like, you're going to say Roman's better. I mean, most people will be like, no, Roman, Stone Cold, Stone Cold. Roman, Rock. Roman, who, you can go down the line. I mean, hell, there's going to be people that'll be like Randy Orton over Roman. And I can't even lie with, those type of people because fucking Randy Orton is one of the all-time greats. Orton matches are better to watch than Roman matches are. So Chief with a $5. He says, I don't need any pictures, dummy. He says, I'm supporting you. I love you, brother. Bang, bang, bang. Stacks on stacks. Racks on racks. A little bit of Cactus Jack. Bang, bang. Let's go. And especially if you're a wrestling fan, observer, part-time fan, bandwagon fan, hardcore fan, this is a moment that is a big moment in wrestling, especially if we get the Cody win. But then we got to see if they capitalize on it and give him a reign or if it's short-lived. Cody wins it tonight and Roman gets it back on Raw. That's what they would do. Vince is like, perfect. I'll give Cody his fucking moment. And then I'll have Roman get it back the next Monday. Thank you, man. Appreciate you. $47 has 53 to go. Randy Orton and Cody. I would love that. I love Randy Orton, man. And he's been injured. So, of course, when you have one of the top 5 guys in your company that's injured, it's not good for business. You got to be out there. And he's never had a bad match. Name any match that you can remember where you're like, this Randy Orton match stinks. No matter even if he's with a tag or whoever. He's always bringing it, especially if he's healthy. Who doesn't love some RKO, man? He made that shit fucking trendy. A trendy finisher. So we're going to see a little bit of technical. But, it's kind of cool to be able to be like, sometimes it's right place, right time. But again, it's all about opportunity. And if you can, take advantage of it, if they can see the importance of it, right? But like, this definitely could be someone other than Cody. And, it's cool to be able to see someone that was Stardust. And then now you're main eventing against Roman Reigns. Like, you would have never thought that. Like, if you could go back in time and be like, yeah, you're in WWF, and you're going to get fired or whatever. Then you're going to go AEW and you're going to make that something with Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks. And you hate Stardust and it's not you. And you make a name for yourself. And then look at this. Everything comes full circle, I guess, huh? Well, I would feel like 99% of people on planet Earth feel Cody's going to win. But again, with wrestling, it just depends on who's running it. So just because something is assumed, that we assume that this is the right time, that they've built it up and we've seen this type of thing before. And this is, the beginning of the end until Vince has his fingertips on everything and decides to throw a curveball in and change at the last minute. I mean, there's a lot of ways that it can go. But I think if Roman does win, that the crowd is not going to be happy with that. But I guess it just depends if you are doing it for yourself and your vision or if you're trying to make the people happy. And we already know Vince don't give a fuck about the people. Vince wants what Vince wants. I mean, like I said, who would want Roman to win? We've seen him win. So it's not like it's like 6-month reign. Like when you are a champ for ridiculous 3 years, like it's weird. It's like, it's almost like not even a cool thing. Like, it's almost like, dude, this is like way too stretched out. Like the reign. Like, I get it. You want him to be like the most dominant champion ever, but even for anyone, Hogan or Flair or anyone, this is ridiculous. Like, no one should have the belt that long. I don't care who the hell you are. But I guess, everyone's narrative, it's how you want to, how you want to express yourself. And that's the narrative. They want to make the bloodline and Roman like, like a Hogan figure. Good athleticism by Roman. Nice power bomb. This feels like different though. Like, remember when Mike Tyson and Evander Holyfield fought and he bit the ear off and everything, but it was like a big thing. Remember I was at a friend's house and we had like 20 people there and we were all watching it. And it's just, you just get a different vibe. Or with like the old school pay-per-views from WCW, like, Bash at the Beach or something, or an old school WWF Attitude Era pay-per-view. I mean, sometimes the vibes just feel different. This one feels different tonight. I mean, shit, even Roman Reigns fans would be surprised if Roman Reigns wins. I think their fans even know, like, yeah, this is probably the end. Yeah, what made Dusty special was his microphone skills. Obviously everyone is shaped differently, and Dusty didn't have the incredibly fit body like some of the other wrestlers, but definitely had so much personality. And that's what it's about. Sometimes it's who you are, not necessarily what your weight is or what your shape is. You can still be a name and a legend. You don't have to have a prototypical, like, not everyone's going to look like Roman Reigns. It's like you can still be special in your own right. Cody's like, I lifted weights and ate my Wheaties. Thanks, Brandy. Yeet. Out of the ring. Roman's like, nah, I'll land on my feet, dude. Down goes Rhodes. Yeah, things were so much different, like I said, in this like social media era. Like, some things are very cool in social media when you can meet people and build relationships and everything. But sometimes it gets to the point where, yeah, it's so different. So different. You're right, though. And, they want to capitalize on all the different social media platforms, this, that, and, but again, it all really depends on who's in control and, who's micromanaging. I mean, hell, if Vince is micromanaging Michael Cole and Pat McAfee, the whole show, that doesn't mean that, there's no control at all. It's like everything is just one person. I mean, so that's one person's vision, one person that's got the final say, But if you go with like AEW, it's a little bit probably a little bit more ideas shared with each other to try to make it the best product possible. I think that's kind of the difference. And we'll see about the selling to the UFC partner group tomorrow morning if we get that. So it'll be very interesting to see if WWE is sold and what happens with, who is announcing, who, all the people that are involved, how much things change, or if they keep everything the same and they just collect the paycheck. So, I mean, don't fuck up a good thing, right? I mean, things finally got good with WWE. Don't fuck it up now. I mean, shit, I went 2 years from barely even watching. Wow, what a packed house. Chief will Chief, I appreciate you. Always showing love when he can. Thank you, man. Always for the YouTube grind. Yeah, and like I said, I did NASCAR, then I had to switch it to the Mariners, and then obviously I'm here. So thank you, man. $13 dono. Appreciate you. All the YouTube grind. And of course, it's WrestleMania. I'm never gonna miss wrestling, ever. Bang, 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 stacks on stacks, Rex on Rex, Cactus Jack. Bang, bang. $13 dono. He says, I don't want you to eat fingernails for dinner. Thank you. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. Appreciate it very, very, very much. Just trying to get caught up after not really having any funds for 2 weeks with everything that happened. It feels good to try to, it's nice to be able to have like a little bit of money. Like if I want to go get something to eat, like I can, instead of being like, oh, I hope I can eat. So that's good. Thank you, guys. WrestleMania weekend has been a fucking success. This has been one of the better WrestleManias in a few years, and it's because of the build-up, and the storyline. Things. There's probably been different WrestleManias that have had better talent, better card, but this one definitely is pretty special. And we'll see if we can cap it off with a Cody win with fireworks named in the who knows what range, because I imagine they have it hooked up to the whole building, so it's gonna be like 4th of July, doubled that. So $60. Let's get to Hundo. He's got the Lisa Simpson hoodie on. Dude, anything Simpsons is dope. It's a big part of my life. I watch it every day. They got episodes on, on different blocks on the channels, but there's not a day I don't watch at least like an episode or two. Even if I've seen them all for 30 plus years, you can go back, and I mean, it's going to be hard to remember 30 plus years of 20 plus episodes. I mean, there's going to be some that they'll be like, you've seen them, but others that will be like, oh, I forgot about this one. Not a lot of people with belts up in the front. They're probably like, fuck a belt. They're like, this shit costs a lot. They're like, I paid $6,000 for these seats. Yeah, NWA. Yep. NWA. National Wrestling Alliance, baby. Old school stuff. Yeah, just, I mean, like I said, it just depends on when you grew up. And a lot of times people can be biased because it's their childhood and that's what memories are important to them. But as far as like looking at every era, everyone's going to have different memories. But 80s and 90s, I'm not sure if that era will ever be replicated. I mean, just the people that were alive at that time, the people that were doing the sports and the wrestling and, and pop culture and movies. That was a special time. Pre-internet, pre-1995. A time where we actually talked to our friends face to face and did things instead of communicating with emojis and not picking up the phone and texting back 3 hours later. Roman countered. Through the table. Come on, Cody. Smart. What are we thinking? Front row seats for WrestleMania? What are we talking? Front row seats, or it's got to be in the thousands. I mean, they could pretty much charge anything and people will pay. They'll say $3,000, no problem. $5,000, no problem. $6,000, no problem. Not everyone will be able to afford them, but rich people will. He said, let me give you a little Dusty. Let me give you a little gold dust for ya. Let me give ya power slam. Hulk up. Yeah. He said, I have to Hulk up. Cody Cutter. 2. 10,000. I mean, I imagine, it's WrestleMania. It's the biggest event of the year. So, I mean, if it was 10,000, I bet, it's in LA too, Hollywood. So, there's a lot of rich people there. Rich. I there's going to be people that flew in, but I guarantee there's a good chunk of California that's in that building. They're like, we're rich. Let's go to WrestleMania. What's WrestleMania? I don't know, but let's go. To be that rich. And wrestling popularity will never die. It's always going to draw. And it's something that you do like 24/7. You do it. It's all. There's no time off on it. So. Paisley needs a walk. She hasn't got a walk today since I did like 8 or 9 hours. So as soon as this is over, after 9 hours of streaming, 8 hours, got to do the exercise. Solo spanked him. He said, "You're out of here." That was the breakdown. I got a snarl. It depends on what kind of match it is. They have certain matches where anything goes. Anybody can run in. Any weapons can be used. He's like, let me hide this belt. He's like, I am Hollywood Hogan. I am trying to be the Hogan that is Hollywood. He's like, give me that wrestling belt. You give that to me. Super kick. Crossroads. 2. Of course, they're not going to end it right there. Everyone's like going nuts. $3 holla. Thank you so much. I love you. Appreciate you very, very much. Bang, bang, bang. Boom, boom, boom. Bang, bang. Thank you. Appreciate you. I'll sneak it in real quick because that's what I do. WrestleMania. Let's go. Let's go. $63. Let's get to $100. Tommy want wingy. There was Malibu's Most Wanted and was on. Don't be hating. And Ace Ventura When Nature Calls at the same time late last night. I haven't laughed like that in a while. Sometimes it's good to be able just to, go back to a movie that you probably have all seen a bunch of times, but sometimes they don't have certain movies on TV. Like Malibu's Most Wanted isn't on TV that often, but it was on VH1, and they kept doing these damn like cookware like infomercials in between the movie. Terrible. But it was super funny. B-Rad. Rock bottom. Don't be hating. 2. And then The Rock comes out and then fucking does it to him. Bing, bang. Bing, bong.
Roman Reigns hoisting his challenger high into the air, driving Rose nearly through the ring, but the toughness, the will,
Let's go, huh?
keeps him in this battle.
I mean, there's a lot of people watching this tonight. I mean, there's WWE fans that hate WWE that are watching this right now. I mean, this is like, you don't want to miss like and have people talk about it, on Instagram or Twitter or Facebook or your friends, and you'd be like, nah, I don't care, and then it ends up being something crazy. It was a great weekend, one of the better WrestleManias in the last few years, like no doubt. Still had a couple shitty matches each day, but that's a given. But they kept it to two shitty out of 7 on Saturday and 2 shitty out of 6 on Sunday. So I'm gonna give you a punch. I'm gonna give you a punch. Pedigree, Triple H. 1, 2, 2. This match, my goodness, like that. I'm Triple H. Pedigree. Dusty against Race for $5. He's hulking up. Hulk up, baby. I watched this hilarious video of The Rock impersonating all of the people that he went against. Compilation video. Fucking hilarious. 1, 2. This has been great. What a great weekend. 2 shitty matches on Saturday. 2 shitty matches on Sunday. 9 out of 13? I think most people would say that's a success. And how many matches were like 10s? Quite a few. When's the last time you remember you'd be like, damn, there's multiple 10 matches on WrestleMania on each day? Been a while. That's what we want. That's what we expect. And the storyline, as far as most of the matchups, not all of them, but storyline has been very, very good. It hasn't been this good in a long, long time. With not every angle and not every feud, but some. Like the Bloodline, obviously that was beautiful. He's oohing. Oh, Cody. 2. Woo! Hit him with a figure 4. They don't do this that much anymore. Sometimes you'll get like, the moves, but just remember how often Ric Flair and certain wrestlers where you would see, this be a part of the match. They slowly started like pushing away from this and doing more like physical moves. But a big part of wrestling is, with submissions and doing some groundwork and building up emotion and whatnot. Like we don't really see this type of stuff as often as we did in the 80s and 90s. Facts. But we don't need it to be like overblown where you do like 3 different ones back to back to back. You don't have to get too crazy with it, but pick your spots and hopefully we can get a Cody win with a bunch of fireworks, huh? Prayers up to Shane McMahon's kneecaps, supposedly ripped off.
be a true Hollywood moment for Cody Rhodes.
Paisley. Of course, the Paisley's going crazy. Hey! Oh, spear. Uh-oh. 1, 2. Still going on right now. Spear. 2. It's like, they're building up the spots to see which finisher that they want to end it with. I mean, I doubt it will be from a tap out submission or just a general move or one of their secondary moves. We'll see. I wonder if we'll get any run-ins or anything, or if they're going to try to have it just be one-on-one. I mean, besides the solo with the little slap and everything with the wrestling belt. Yeah, John Cena is winning. Word life. Protein powder. Too much protein powder for Roman. There's a boo, boo, boo. We've already watched you for 3 years. Boo. We liked you when you were at the Shield. This bloodline thing is too much. Cody's like, I need to Hulk up. He said, that's a signal. It's over, he says. Now he's got to Hulk it. Hulk it. Oh, they wouldn't be throwing no beer bottles here. Like, have a chance to get banned for life, and you're one of these like hardcore wrestling fans. I mean, it's one thing if you do it at baseball, basketball, or football, but wrestling fans are not dumb. At least most of them aren't. Some are. Cody's like, my neck and my back. Roman Reigns rocking the shacks, the red shacks. Shaquille O'Neal. I think everyone on planet Earth wants Cody to win, so that way we just get a title change. Regardless if you like Cody or not, you just want someone other than Roman. He hulked up. I saw the protein powder. He ate it. Oh, and the ref goes down. Superman punch. Both men down. A instant classic. WrestleMania 39. Let's go. This pay-per-view has been good. How much more time left? See, run-ins. Of course there's run-ins. They could never make it clean after losing the belts already. Right? Wrestling. We lie, we cheat, we steal. We lie, we cheat, we steal. Who's coming out? There we go. Owens and Zayn are here. Stop a mud hole in his ass. Get him, Sammy. Get him, KO. Oh, stunner. Haluva kick. I want a haluva. I want a haluva kick. Oh, my God. Oh, my goodness. They got to get their money's worth. Everyone's got to get involved, right? Everyone needs to drop an appearance. It's WrestleMania. Vince is like, and the ref is waking up. Get him, Cody. Do it for Dad. Two. That's so Vince. Hello, Vince. It's WrestleMania, right? Don't shortchange us. Yeah. Times have changed. Wow. Imagine being one of those people right there in the front row. Oh, man. Like, even if you had to pay a little extra, this would be like a good one to pay for. Yeah, definitely. I mean, especially if you're doing it for you're doing it for Gold Dust, you're doing it, for Dustin Rhodes, you're doing it for Dusty, you're doing it for Mom, you're doing it for everyone in the family. Give it to him. Give him the Dusty. Oh, here we go. Get it, baby. Yeah! That just made the match a fucking billion right there. Let's go. You got to pay homage, Let's go. Doing it twice, baby. Here it is. Oh, Paul Heyman, of course. 3 times. Spear. Oh, Vince. Are you fucking kidding me? Vince. You couldn't even let him win at WrestleMania. And this was what I was afraid of. I didn't want to believe it. You know what I mean? It'd just be like, Cody, this is the time. This would be perfect. The storybook at WrestleMania. But just the simple fact that you left and came back, they're like, nope, we're going to keep it with the people that are here. And that's the surprise that you get. Vince, you can't even give the guy. And then he's like, well, don't worry. I'll let him win at fucking Saudi Arabia. It won't mean the same, you know, even if he does get the belt at a different place, you know. Location is everything. Bro, you didn't really see a whole lot of Vince everywhere, right? You didn't see a whole lot of Vince everywhere. But this is definitely, I would have to assume if it's like Khan or Triple H or Stephanie or anyone that knows wrestling, this would have been the way to do it. Unless you're going to have someone like Seth or Randy Orton or Braun Breaker go at him and beat him. But, is there going to be another opportunity or like a triple threat or whatever? But that shows you they don't care. They don't care about you. They don't care about me. They don't care about the fans. This was storybook ending type of shit, and they couldn't do it. They couldn't have everyone drop the belts, and they would rather have the Usos drop it, and this guy's going to have the belt for like 9 years. They do realize there's a lot of wrestlers, and having 2 belts on one person for 3 years is ridiculous, right? But they're like, well, he's the best ever. Fucking A. Well, he doesn't win clean. That's not his MO, is winning not clean, right? That's the only way they win. It's the bloodline. It's like NWO or, you're not going to win clean matches. We lie, we cheat, we steal. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I mean, if Cody could have won, we could have said that overall it was a very solid 9. Not a perfect pay-per-view because, again, you had 2 bad matches on Saturday, 2 on Sunday. Of course, you're always going to have a couple bad matches, but 5 out of 7 and 4 out of 6 is great. But this ending, I mean, no one has a good taste in their mouth right now. I mean, Roman Reigns fans probably are ecstatic. They're like, yes, we're going to at least have it for a little bit longer. And again, if Cody gets another chance and he wins in Saudi Arabia or some fucking jobber pay-per-view, it doesn't mean the same. Unbelievable. This is like your boss telling you you're going to get a raise and then 2 weeks later telling you that he can't. What? You promised. You promised. See, I told you. See, you're one of the believers that, you always want what the fans want. But what you have to realize that, Vince and certain people, it's their vision, not what the people's vision and the fans' vision. Even though it's written for you, all you have to do is deliver. But, it's like certain people don't want to lose, and they want to just keep it going. So, well, at some point, again, is this just for ratings? Are we going to see Cody fade away into mid-tier, mid-card reality? Or is he going to be top-tier guy? That's the question. And we'll definitely see how he's used in the next couple years. And maybe they have bigger plans for someone else to beat him. Seth, Randy Orton, someone, I don't, maybe someone else at SummerSlam. I don't know how they're going to do this, but. Baron Corbin. Oh, shit. I don't even know what to fucking say at this point. It's like the ending was shitty, but like in the back of our minds, even at the beginning of the pay-per-view, we said this is perfect storytelling. And then we can actually finally say Vince and everyone, like, great job. But of course, right when you think you get everything that you want and things have been great, and then they punch you in the mouth or kick you in the stomach and say, hey, enjoy the show, but it's my show, not your show. I don't care about you. I'm going to do it my way. I mean, this is unbelievable. Like, it's like making him Hulk Hogan modern day, but even bigger. Like they're trying to make him bigger than Hulk Hogan. And I don't know if anyone will ever be as big or iconic as Hulk Hogan in the 80s or 90s and the impact that he had. But damn it, I really wish that we would have got someone else winning. Like who's going to dethrone? Who will it be? Another one bites the dust, huh? I mean, I would love to see Seth win. I mean, if they want to give it to someone that they feel is loyal, but you never know what narratives they have. Maybe, they don't really like Cody that much. And, this was all just for ratings and they were never going to, give him the opportunity. And, they're just trying to maximize on their guys who are their guys, like a Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins ain't going to fucking AEW ever, so it's like maybe they're going to try to build it around the guys that are their guys, the Randy Ortons. He ain't leaving ever, so. I mean, you saw it with Vince. Vince loves The Undertaker more than Shane. You know what I mean? Because he was loyal and Undertaker never fucking dipped out to WCW or any other federation when others did. And if you've seen like Hall of Fame speeches and the way that Vince talks, like Vince doesn't get choked up about Stephanie or fucking Shane, but like he'll get choked up about Undertaker. To him, that's like his son, Loyalty is everything. I don't know. We'll see. Or, what do they do with the Usos and the Bloodline? And if they have a rematch, and try to get the belts back, or if they have a trio, like, it's those two, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, and then, the Usos, and then another group, and then, something happens. I don't know. We will have to wait and see on how everything happens. And then we'll probably get a surprise tomorrow. Maybe Braun Breaker tomorrow. I don't know. We will have to see like who they decide to push. So yeah, we just have to you just have to come to the terms. Like once a owner or a guy, a GM has a favorite, you're not getting in between that. Like they're gonna ride that shit out as long as they can, before other people, get irritated. But if you're the only one making the decisions, and no matter if people are irritated, you don't care because you run the shit, you're the guy, then you can do everything in your own vision. And again, I've never seen anyone micromanage to the point where even guys like Michael Cole, who's like the most loyal motherfucker on planet Earth to Vince, right? They're in their ear with him and Pat like the whole time. Imagine you're doing the show as the announcer and you're hearing the, Vince in your ear for like 3 hours straight. I don't know. That would be, you're obviously blessed to have a job there, and you want to make the boss happy, but isn't that a little extreme, or is that me? I don't know. To me, that's extreme shit. So. That's what I was trying to tell you, bro. With like the Seth Rollins and that interview, and you know what I mean? It's like you're wasting people's talents at the right time, but they don't care. They don't care about the Daniel Bryan story or the Kofi Kingston story. When we get it, it makes us really happy because it's like, oh my God, we never thought they would, do it for the guys that are over, or giving some guy that is like a long shot, a little skinny guy, Kofi Kingston, and then, climbing to the top of the mountain like Daniel Bryan, but every once in a while we'll get that. But most of the time, you're not going to get what you want like that. It's unfortunate. Yeah, then like I said, having someone else have a shine would be much better. You can have Roman and maybe Seth, or Roman and Randy Orton, Roman and Bray Wyatt. Come on. I don't. But again, it's all about portraying this image of this is the most dominant wrestler of all time. And they're trying to do it based off statistics and belts, and so that like you can't deny it because it's look how many days he had it, look how many title reigns he had, and this and that, but. Even with his career, even if he had the belt for 4 years straight or 5, he's still never going to be Rock or Stone Cold or some of our other favorites. It's just, you got the reign, and people, and obviously someone likes you, but I don't think people are going to buy in and be like, yeah, Roman's in my top 5 now. I don't think anyone's going to say that unless you're a super Roman fan, just enough is enough. Can we get something new? I know. Isn't it just frustrating, man? Like, and I didn't want to say it on air because I didn't want to jinx it. But in the back of my mind, I was thinking, what if, we don't get the storybook ending and the fireworks and they're just like, fuck you. And we're going to keep going. And I was like, as the match kind of went on, I was like, still kind of wishy-washy on it, but I was like, I don't want to say it. And then there it is. Terrible, man. Yes, I know. And sometimes people don't come back, but I would assume Randy Orton is super motivated, and his legacy is one of the best of all time. He is one of the GOATs. I've never seen Randy Orton have a bad match. I love RKO. There's nothing ever been bad. He is one of like the purest, smoothest, all around, great on the microphone, great in the ring. Like, you can never really say anything bad. Like, he's never been bad, and that's what, makes him a GOAT. But yeah, I hope he can come back. Oh, man, unbelievable. Well, fucking A, man. I've been streaming forever. I need to eat and maybe take the dog for a walk and, I don't know, maybe step outside. And, man, unbelievable. Well, I wish we had a better ending than that, but I guess that's what happens sometimes, right? We want a certain thing, but we don't get it, so. Wow, unfortunate, huh? But I guess that it is what it is. Thank you so much for all the people that hung out. Thank you to everyone that donated. Thank you to everyone that shared on the Twitter. WrestleMania 39, day 2 was a fucking success. You guys are the best. I love you and I appreciate you. And I'll be back. We'll be doing Mariners more than likely tomorrow, Tuesday. And, we'll kind of evaluate to see what events we got throughout the week. But we'll grind it out. Mike, Forbidden, Lenny D, Sarah, Holly, all the people that are in the room. Appreciate all of you guys. Hope to see you guys soon, even if it's not in a wrestling stream. And I appreciate everyone. WrestleMania 39 watch party night number 2 was a success besides that fucking ending. I love you guys and I appreciate you guys. And I got one question for you. Well, talk sports like us. Your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, and I'm out. Gang.